And it should have been, yeah. I think that's all that would, that's all for my sharing and yeah, for the night. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters. Now ulit ako. Stop sharing. Ulit ako?
Yes, thank you so much po, Ate Selvia, for that amazing lecture about the section 3. Now, Kuya Randy, meron po ba kayong tanong? Or later na po i-entertain?
Later na lang.
Okay po. So, let's continue. At this moment, I would like to welcome our second lecturer for tonight, Kristen Bell de Apera. So, please give a hand, brothers and sisters.
Sandali po, naghang po. You want to ano here? Saan mong gamitin dito? Okay.
Hello po everyone. Good evening po. Kita naman ako. Today I will be talking about the third section in the first chapter of the Divine Principle, which is entitled The Purpose of Creation. So after we have known the dual characteristics of God, and as well as the universal prime energy and the four position foundation, the three object purpose, and then upon knowing that, we now then go into the third topic, which we will be wherein we will be discussing our purpose and our purpose as God's creation. So, have you ever wondered what your purpose in life may be? Have you ever experienced asking yourself, um, why am I here? And then why am I created in the first place? Um, I am not sure if it's true to everyone, but as for me, well, I was as young as I am, I have been asking myself um, since I can remember what why am I created? Why do I exist here on earth? So what is my purpose? And what are the purpose of the other things that is around me? So um, with this topic, I hope, brothers and sisters, that we will all be enlightened of our purpose in life and the purpose of the other things around us. So it is recorded in the Bible, in the account in the Bible, in Genesis chapter 1, verses 4 to 31, that after God completed each day of creation, he saw that it was good. This suggests that God wanted his creation to be the object partners embodying goodness that he might take delight in them. If we recall, brothers and sisters, in the previous sections we have known and we have learned that we all came from one origin, and that is our ultimate creator, God. And since we have been created by God, He had created us with a mind, with um, in mind that He wants us to embody goodness, and from there He could take um, delight, and He would feel happy and would become His object, where object of joy. And that is what God has in mind when he was creating human beings. So what is let's now talk then what uh what God's joy is. So um God created human beings as the final step in creating the universe. He this can be supported. This claim can be supported and is actually very um um well known in the Bible, in the first book of the Bible, the Genesis, wherein the process of creation was stated and the process of how things were um, created by God was stated. So God created human beings as the final step. So we were the human beings were the last creation that God has ever created. And then He created when He was creating human beings, He created them in His image, in the likeness of His internal nature and external form, and gave them sensibility to all feelings and emotions. After the creation of the human beings, God blessed Adam and Eve to be fruitful, multiply, and have dominion over the creation. This can be um, this can be found in the book and the passage of the Genesis chapter 1 verse 28. So had Adam and Eve obeyed three these three blessings and built the kingdom of heaven, there is no doubt that God would have felt the greatest joy as his sons and daughters rejoice in the road of his ideal. So from here, brothers and sisters, we can actually deduce that when God created us, when God created human beings, He had in mind that He wanted His sons and daughters to accomplish these three great blessings and build the kingdom of heaven upon completing these three great blessings. So if human beings have accomplished this one, it would have gave God the greatest joy, and He would have felt um, the happiest um, among everyone, diba? So, yun. So hence, the ultimate purpose of the universe with human beings at its center is to return joy to God. So just like any other human, any children, we are all, our purpose in life is to actually give joy to our parents. And as God's sons and daughters, yun yung pinaka ultimate yung purpose natin, which is to give joy to our not only to our creator but to our um father. So let's now then discuss further, why did God create Adam and Eve? So why did God create Adam and Eve? Being invisible, God cannot love his children who have external forms without becoming a father or mother with a substantial external form. We have known from the previous section that God is an invisible being, and thus he does not have any substantial and physical body where he could directly relate with all his children or all human beings. So for this reason, God created Adam and Eve to have a body. So the reason why God created Adam and Eve is to first that the invisible God will have a physical form through Adam's body. Since Adam and the rest of the human beings are meant to reach perfection, and once we have reached perfection, we will be able to completely resonate with God, as what we have learned in the previous section. In yeah, Uh, so when Adam and Eve were able, so when Adam have reached perfection and was able to completely become one with God, then he could be his form, and God could take Adam's physical form and yeah become the um, male representation of God. And then, and the second reason why God created Adam and Eve and all the rest of the human being is that through the body, God can feel a shocking vibration that brings him joy. Words alone are insufficient. So, since God is an invisible being, um, he cannot um, feel the stimulation as much as human beings do, and that is why he needs to have a physical body, a physical form, wherein he can uh, feel these vibrations and allow himself to feel um, that shocking vibration and be happy. So that would bring him joy. So it's not enough that we would say thanks to God, and then the words would never be enough, would not suffice to make God feel the happiness that we feel. So he has to feel it through Adam, through the body of Adam. So then third, God will have I will find God will find a surface area, for as the vertical father on the central axis, he does not himself have a surface area. Since God is, like we have mentioned earlier, that he is invisible, thus he does not have any physical form. The and in that for that reason as well, he does not have any surface area. Thus, we cannot um directly feel um directly feel or see or touch him. Yeah, we can only feel his presence. So for that reason, for these three reasons, brothers and sisters, God created Adam and Eve to become his object purpose, his object partners, wherein wherein Adam and Eve could become would become God's perfect embodiments and physical embodiments, wherein they could um, represent God uh, in uh, in the physical, in an external aspect. So, and now let's then now discuss the dual purposes. So, like we have known, since God has dual characteristics, and all the other creation also consists of a dual characteristics, our purpose as well of the entity of a person also consists of dual purposes. So all entities have the dual purposes, and these purposes is the whole purpose and the individual purpose. So, um, every entity has dual centers of movement, one of internal nature and another of external form. These centers pursue corresponding purposes for the sake of the whole and for the sake of the individual, whose relationship is the same as that between internal nature and external form, wherein the whole purpose stands in the possession of internal nature, while the individual purpose uh, stand stands the possession of an external form. So in God's ideal, there cannot be any individual purpose which does not support the whole purpose, nor can there be any whole purpose that does not guarantee the interest of the individual. Therefore, our internal purpose is not too different, is not completely um, different from the whole purpose, nor is the whole purpose completely separated from our individual purpose. So, the infinite variety of beings in the universe form one vast organic body interwoven by these dual purposes. So, we will be discussing this in an example of the family. So, to take an example, even if the family properties legally belong to the parents, in reality, they belong to the parents and the children. So, in other words, they are under common ownership of the family. As we have known, and as we have all believed, uh, what our parents own, the children also own. 'Di ba? Yun naman yung naging culture and that is one of the cultures of yeah. And it's not kahit hindi naman i-mention specifically na or boldly state na what belongs to my parents also belongs to the children. That is actually already inherent. So parang it's already um understandable. So, ganun. So, each of the family members receives his or her individual room, clothes, and allowance. In this manner, the whole purpose and the individual purpose harmonize within the family. The ideal society's ownership system is an expansion of the ideal form of possession in the loving family to society, nation, and world. So to give more context to this, although the house is named after the head of the family, let's just say the father. In that house, there are respective rooms which belong to um, the individual members of the family, the parents, both the parents, the children, every individual children. And despite no, so in that way, so the individual purpose can be likened to that owning of your individual room, and while the whole purpose can be likened to that of the parents owning or having the house named after the father. So, yan. And now, ngayon naman, let's talk about the good object partners for the joy of God. So, joy is not produced by an individual alone. I doubt that there is any individual who feel genuine happiness by himself alone. So, joy arises when we have an object partner, whether intangible or substantial, in which our internal nature and external form are reflected and developed. So our object partners stimulates us and helps us to feel our own internal nature and external form. For example, an artist object partner may be an idea in his mind or prod, um, the finished artwork that he has. So um, he is stimulated to feel his own internal nature through that idea or through that finished artwork that he has. So without that idea or without that finished project, finished artwork that he has, he wouldn't feel joy or he wouldn't feel stimulated. Thus, he could not feel joy. So in order for a human being or for any other creation to feel joy, there must be an object partner. And take note that it doesn't necessarily have to be a substantial object partner. It could also be intangible, just like an idea in our minds. So yeah. So discussing further, God feels the fullness of joy when he is stimulated by his substantial object partners to feel his original internal nature and original external form through them. Since human beings, like what we have discussed earlier, that when God created human beings, God has endowed his dual characteristics into the human beings. So in order for God to feel joy, he has to relate to his object partners, which are human beings and all the rest of the other creations, in order for him to be stimulated and feel joy. So when the kingdom of heaven is realized through the fulfillment of the three great blessings and the establishment of the four position foundation, it becomes the good object partner that gives joy to God. So for us to make God feel the complete joy and to feel the complete ano, um, essence of joy, we have to realize the kingdom of heaven and as well as fulfill the three great blessings, which is our goal, diba? Since God has endowed us the three great blessings and God has given that three great blessings for us to fulfill. So, yung question natin na how can we make God happy? What in what way can we make God feel yun, feel joy? It is only it is actually through this, brothers and sisters. We have to establish and realize the kingdom of heaven and the three great blessings. And since we have already known that our purpose, our ultimate purpose in life is to actually bring back joy to our parent, thus so yung way natin, it's actually very it's actually already there. So we just really have to accomplish and to fulfill it. So so though God is the absolute being, he cannot be happy alone. So like there's no man. No man is an island. So and no joy cannot be felt through one being alone. It always have to have an object partner. So it is the same thing with God, although he is an absolute being. So he cannot be happy by himself, and he cannot feel joy by himself. So adjectives such as good and happy cannot apply to any being that lives in isolation. So kagaya na nga na nasabi kanina, diba? Words are not enough. So it's not sufficient enough to allow a being to feel happy. So it has to have substance on it. So yeah, they apply only where there is a reciprocal relationship. So imagine a professional singer who finds herself on an inhabited island. So she may sing at the top of her voice, but with no one to listen, will it bring her happiness? So if you are that singer, would you feel happiness no matter how lovely the song may be, without anybody appreciating the beautiful melody that was created through that song, or without anyone appreciating uh, you singing that song? You could not um, happiness, genuine happiness or joy itself cannot be felt by that singer. So happiness is not learned but is felt through an object partner. So we actually, brothers and sisters, we cannot teach anybody how to how to be happy, because a person has to feel that by himself. So no matter how much you try to um describe what the feeling of happiness is, without that person feeling it, without that person experiencing it, then it wouldn't be enough to make him happy. So he has to experience it by himself. So it's not like mathematics or English that can be taught and that can be learned through school, diba? It is something that we actually experience in our day. We should experience in our day to day life. So, yun. So in other words, the same thing for God. God created this world to feel happiness by seeing human beings and the creation become one through God's love and form a world of harmonious love. So the same thing with God. So imagine if God did not create all the creation and have lived by himself. How would you think do you think God would have felt happy? So no matter how powerful a person may be, without having an object partner that could allow him that would stimulate him and allow himself to to be happy, then all those powers and all those things would actually be insignificant. So what really matters is for um all beings to have an object partner that could really stimulate him to and allow him to feel that vibrations and make himself um be familiar with um that feeling of happiness. So, yeah. So since we have already learned that, brothers and sisters, ngayon naman let's talk about the three great blessings, um uh which is God's mandate to all the human beings. Since when God created human beings, he had given us these three great blessings to fulfill. So let's discuss further the three great blessings, starting with the first blessing. So the first blessing, which is to be fruitful. Diba? Since the three great blessings is in the verse Genesis chapter 1 verse 28, it was stated there, be fruitful, multiply and have dominion. So the first blessing is to be fruitful. It's uh, actually meant for individual perfection. So one's individual perfection. So the key to God's first blessing is the perfection of an individual character. An individual mind, an individual's mind and body are discrete projections and object partners of God's dual characteristics. So in order for an individual to perfect his character, he must form an individual four-position foundation whereby his mind and body become one through give and take action with God as their center. So, so your first blessing is for one being, so for one being to reach perfection, wherein his mind stands in the position of a subject partner while his body as the object partner. So when these two forms create harmonious give and take action between us. So when the mind and body creates a harmonious give and take action centering on God, it would then create a perfected individual wherein we could completely, so when we have reached that point, we could then become one with God. So where our mind will become uh uh, our thoughts would become centered on God. So yung it's as if God is also our thoughts would become God's thoughts. So such individuals becomes the temples of God. So when we have reached this perfection, we will all then become God's individual temple. So yun. So and then the next one is the second blessing. So, in fulfilling God's second blessing, individually perfected Adam and Eve should construct a God centered family four position foundation by joining in loving oneness as husband and wife and raising children. So, for in order bago before human beings can enter the second blessing, so they must first accomplish the first blessing. So in order for them to participate in the second blessing, they must be able to reach perfection individually, and thus Adam, the subject partner, or and then the object partner Eve, have to form a harmonious relationship, a harmonious give and take action centering on God, thus then creating godly children, so children that are centered to God, forming a family that is centered to God. So a family or society that has formed a proposition foundation in line with God's will. So this is the second blessing. So um, prior to creating human beings, God created the natural world by expressing partial reflections of the internal nature and external form He had conceived for human beings. Consequently, a human being contains within himself the sum total of the essences of all things. This is the reason he is created. He is called the microcosm of the cosmos. So when we actually learn about this, brothers and sisters, human beings actually can uh, has the ability, since human beings actually possesses all the other no, created beings within oneself. That is why he can be called the microcosm of the cosmos. So um, we contain all the elements, structures, and qualities found both in animals and plants. So, for example, a human vocal cords are so versatile that they can imitate virtually any sound. So that is how wonderful and how powerful, how advanced human beings have. God has created human beings, and also a plant's leaf is similar and can be likened to the human lung. So if we study, 'di ba, sa science, yung image ng human lungs, it's when you actually look at it, we can actually see that it's like um, a leaf, wherein you can see all those little branches, 'di ba, from Hindi ko alam yung pangalan nun eh. But then yeah, when you actually see it and then you compare it to an image of a leaf, you can actually see similarities within the two. So yun. And then um not only is it similar to the appearance, but as well as function. So, and then also the branches and stems of a plant can be likened, can correspond to the human circulatory system, which distributes nourishment to the entire body. And the same thing with the branches and the stems. It's the yung function niya, it's not too far from that of the human circulatory system. So that is how when you actually think about it, it may be uh, different. When we actually think of it, baka isipin natin, malayo naman. Pero when you actually really try to um, think of it, it's actually similar. Although yung sa human beings, it's a lot. It may be in a bigger aspect or vice versa. So yan. And then the xylem and phloem corresponds to human arteries and veins. And then the roots of a plant correspond to the human stomach and intestines, which absorbs nutrients. So when you actually look at it, brothers and sisters, human beings can actually have really, when we actually really think about it, we we possess all the other creation. We are actually in the created universe is actually in the image of a human being. So that is how meticulous and how creative God has been when He was creating human beings, and thus that is why also we were created as His masterpieces. So yeah, discuss relating to that, since the third blessing is the perfection of the dominion. So as described in Genesis chapter 1 verse 28, fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the birds of the air and over the every living thing that moves upon the earth. The meaning of God's third blessing is the perfection of a human being's dominion over the natural world. So to fulfill this blessing, the four-position foundation of dominion must be established, centered on God. Human beings in the natural world, which are substantial object partners of God, at the level of image and symbol, respectively, must share love and beauty to become completely one. So the completion of the universe happens when the human beings and the natural world um, fulfills or creates a harmonious give and take action centering on God. And as the caretakers of the natural world, how do we relate to this natural world? We have to really take care of the created um, of the natural world, the animals and the plants and all the other um, entities and beings that we see around us. So yeah, and once we have accomplished that one, once we have fulfilled that, then the universe and then the kingdom of heaven would unfold in in front of us. So yeah. So the realization of the purpose of creation. So had God's purpose of creation been realized in this way, an ideal world without even a trace of sin would have been established on the earth. We call this the world, the kingdom of heaven on earth. So in order for us to live, in order for us to um, accomplish, fulfill the kingdom of heaven, we had to really realize, allow that purpose, yung purpose natin as God's creation to be realized. So, centering on God. Kasi we will be discussing further in the previous section, in chapter 2 in specific, how it has been, kung anong nangyari because of the fall. So, and how we have failed to create the kingdom of heaven. So, yan. So, in the kingdom of heaven, God's direction will be conveyed to all his children through the true parents of humankind, guiding everyone to live as one. So when sa realization ng purpose of creation, so we have the true parents, which would have been Adam and Eve, and then wherein through the true parents, God, yeah, they could stand in the position where God, um they stand in the position to represent God, and then all His created beings and all the creation, all all human beings standing in the position of a children could directly relate to him. So this is what happens in the kingdom of heaven. So this is the ultimate goal of human being, not just human. This is the ultimate um um goal, ultimate purpose of all the other things for the unfolding and the establishment of the kingdom of heaven. And once we have reached and fulfilled that purpose and that plan, God's plan, then we could all live in happiness, and we could directly become God's object for purpose and make him happy. So yeah, yun. So basically, to sum up everything, brothers and sisters, our ultimate purpose is to give joy to God. And how do we give joy to God? We can give joy to God. We can give joy to God through completing the three great blessings and fulfilling and realizing the fulfillment of the kingdom of heaven here on earth. So, yun lang, brothers and sisters. So, I hope we all have learned something from this one. And although it's not as popular, it's not a popular idea that is being taught in the Christian context, but this is actually the truth that we should all adhere on, brothers and sisters. So I hope you all understand. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bea, for that
Thank you very much. Kaya, ano pang mag-ano? Tapos na natin sa dito. Okay. So, are there any questions? Q&A na ba?
Second time ng presentation eh. Di pa.
Ano po?
time nila, sir. Kasi wala namang ibang mag-present, kaya second time na nila. Yung iba, first time pa rin. Pag nandyan sila, pumasok sila. Kasi first,
So, anything you wanted to share regarding their presentation? Anyway, one thing that I would say is we should level up. We should level up because Ate Dulce already told me that we needed to expand our horizon. So, what does it mean, brothers and sisters? Di ba sabi niyo, walang iwanan. Walang iwanan sa UPTA, di ba? Tama ba?
Yes.
So, ready na ba tayong mapasubo?
Sa
Ready? Hindi, tanong pala, ready na ba sila?
I think so, sir. Yes.
Why I'm saying this to all of you? Because Ate Dulce already announced sa Asia Pacific meeting nila na even other countries will be joining our 21 days. Okay? Because
Wala na
parang
talaga.
parang tayo lang yung merong mga seminars sa ibang country. Pero yung seminar natin na preparation for the matching, preparation for the blessing, yun yung nakita nila na iba sa atin. So, ang tanong, handa na ba sila? Ah, handa na ba sila, Ate Sylvia? Kung merang from Malaysia na magja-join ng 21 days, from Thailand, from Australia, ano pa? Asia Pacific 1, Asia Pacific 2 countries. Matching candidate, blessing candidate can join our 21 days.
I think kuya, kayo po yung makapagsabi. If we have to, a strong point that we have to improve, I will personally appreciate it if you can point it out. It's okay. Because we really have to, especially this time when we are challenged to do that. So yeah, tulad ng napag-usapan natin, walang iwanan. So we have to strive our utmost best to do it. So, not because we're good, but we have to try to be good. Not because we wanted to be recognized, but this is our calling, and we are given this huge privilege to so doing. And it would be an opportunity to, the more that we have to give our time in lecturing and yeah, studying more. I know that yeah, as a form of our junction, then God can use us. I really believe so. So being ready should not be the
Should not be a
question.
question.
Yeah, our sincerity and our commitment should be asked then how willing are we to give and how much are we willing to give. I think that's it. Kasi nandito na tayo. And hindi rin dahil nga nakapilitan lang tayo because I think we all aspire to learn how to convey God's word. So, kasama din yun sa growing. I feel sorry for those nung parang napapraktisan lang natin. But, yeah, we are also growing. I think so. I believe that way. So, I hope really we can create a good base for God to work through us. Even if, yeah, if we have to say we're ready and we're not ready, that shouldn't be the question talaga po. It is our commit. It is our we cannot rely on our own capacity kasi God can only work through us if we will create a base. If we have not created, then we should create a base. Parang ganun. And
We should become the vessel of God's word.
something like that po. So,
And actually, the only thing that is needed if we will be going to that is we should be ready not to be comfortable with our language, but we should be ready to use the international language.
it's quite challenging though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaya nga I wanted you to focus more on when we talk about the content, what is in the PowerPoint presentation, that's already it. And better to get an example or better to get a supporting coming from true parents words so that at least we can be more contained. And some examples can be is our experience based on how we overcome the challenges that we have received in the blessing as we prepare to create a God-centered family. Okay? Because actually, if you will come to think of it, even when we were educated, when we were given the lecture, most of the lecturers they are practicing also through us before, right? But along their practice, they discovered how they can make it as their own, and then let them being used by God, so that they can give more inspiration to others to be connected to God and through God. So likewise with us, okay? The commitment, the dedication is already there, but thinking that we should not only be focusing more on our nation, but we should go beyond our nation. And we are already being offered for that, actually. Okay? Kaya even UPTA, there will also be a chance that the third batch would be an international. Okay? So last week of February will be the commencement ceremony of the first batch.
Yeah.
And there will be a challenge.
Congratulations.
There will be a challenge that you'll be facing.
Ganon.
Okay?
And what's that?
We will be experiencing True Father's fishing experience.
Amazing.
Okay?
Wow.
I'm already arranging with Raul Caballero in Real Quezon if we can have a experience of fishing, shoreline
Bobby is
fishing,
excited. We go.
and then top of the mountain bonfire, just like True Father when he is praying in Busan on top of the mountain.
Basta hindi niyo ako patatakbuhin, ha?
But if we cannot do that in Real Quezon, I'm also asking Kuya Raul Gamboa if we can have it, if we can do it in uh, same Quezon but in Padre Burgos, Quezon province.
Wow, amazing.
Burgosa.
Oh my God.
Going
This,
to going to um yan, papuntang Bicol region, yung shore, yung along the coastal line ng mga highway doon.
Yung dalawang island na nakahiwalay dito. Basta may dalawang island na nakahiwalay dito. Papunta.
Actually kung sa Real Quezon sana tayo, hindi tapos makapunta tayo ng Polillo Island, mas okay sana yan. Pero I'm still waiting if Raul Caballero will be going to Davao last week of February or first week of March. If first week of March, we can proceed in Real Quezon. That's Real Quezon talaga yun.
amazing.
Okay? Don't worry, second batch, mas matindi yung sa
So
inyo pagka ano.
amazing.
Meron na akong iniisip sa second batch eh.
Oh my God, amazing.
Bohol. Bohol. Erwin Bohol.
Alam mo, hindi ko na-appreciate yung Panglao. Dapat magpakita sa akin yung kagandahan ng Panglao.
Ay, pangit ang Panglao. Mas maganda doon sa island nila Erwin.
Saan yun natin?
Amazing.
Saan ba kila Erwin?
And
Talibon.
that would also be our kick-off.
Talibon?
Wow.
Ano yung parang hindi ko maalala yung Talibon kung nasan siyang area. Just
to set your expectation, brothers and sisters, baka itong 6 batch, ito yung last na natin na purely Philippines ang audience natin. This is just to hindi pa ako sure but I'm already feeling na this will be our last batch for Philippines. Na pure Filipinos sa mga audience natin. So na kayo, kumbaga magbulsa na kayo ng maraming English na mga ano. Mag-prepare na ng at least longer time of spokening dollars. Kaya dapat mag-headset na rin ka ng ganito para ano. Dapat lagi ka nag-headset para
Feel them.
Actually, sabi na Ate Dulce, kung ready na, pwede na i-start natin. Pero sabi ka ate, one more isa pang cycle ng Kaya baka itong 6 batch natin na sa 16, ito yung last na purely Filipino natin. So, sabi ko nga sa inyo, level up na tayo eh. Hindi na tayo yung maghanap, tayo na yung hinahanap. Okay? And even si national leader nga, lagi yung sinasabi na etong initiative natin is quite different from all other initiative. And the training that we're going through is also different from other training. Kasi, di ba, karamihan pag sinabing lecturers training, nandoon ka lang nakikinig ng 21 days. Tapos sabi niya, kaya mo nang i-present yan. Okay? Pero dito is, hindi ka lang mag-practice na mag-present, ngunit talaga mag-present ka pa in front of the people. Okay? And they don't expect na yung mga even nga si ate sa accounting natin hindi niya na-expect na si Monina, si Jinky, diyan sila nagde-lecture tapos mga blessed families na kumbaga hindi masyadong hindi yung mga top notch na mga lecturer.
Yeah.
Ang narinig nila, but they are looking at an ordinary people giving lecture but with a high heart, higher form of heart.
High caliber of heart.
Hindi ko alam kung baka hindi ko maabot.
High caliber.
So, bakit yung gawin ko?
And most especially, we are not just giving lecture, but we are really educating people. That's the big difference. Okay, we are not just inspiring people, but we are bringing the best in the people to really practice, make their life become a God-centered lifestyle. So, actually, even na-shock na rin ako nung sinabihan ako na we have to expand your horizon. Akala ko, joke lang ako ni Ate Dulce, pero totoo na pala. Okay. Kaya nga si Erwin is also supporting yung technical na ng Asia Pacific.
Cardinal na nga po kuya Kuya Cardinal Herwin.
May buhok pa naman ako, te. Ito naman da.
Makabagong cardinal na po ngayon kuya, hindi na kailangang bald.
Hindi na kailangan na may airport.
Oo, hindi na yan uso ngayon.
Nature na yan.
Makabago na ngayon kuya eh. High-tech na ngayon eh. So, bago na rin yung image ng cardinal, ng bishop, ng mga pope. Oh, di ba? Makabagong.
Airport ka agad. Kala ko helipad lang muna.
Meron na tayong helipad, ate. Hindi na kailangan yun. Dala-dala na natin mga helipad.
Okay, so that means if this will be our last chance to practice for a Filipino way of lecturing, we should be training ourselves to present the divine principle purely in English. Okay. Anyway, sa umpisa lang naman yan eh. Sa umpisa lang medyo mahirapan tayo para pareho. Kasi even sa blessing seminar na nga rin ngayon is there are already other nations that are joining our blessing seminar. Kaya even yung mga materials natin na they are also pirating it na. Yung lecture sa Thailand para sa mga matching candidate na, di ba meron tayong internal sa external na binibigay. Yun na rin yung fina-follow nila na pattern sa Thailand. And they belong to Asia Pacific too. So, yeah, we are now, actually hindi na natin kailangan sabihin kung ready na ba tayo. Ang sabihin natin is we are now very much we are now ready to go beyond our comfort zone. Siguro sabi ni God, komportable na kayo masyado sa Philippines kaya labas naman na kayo. Right? Mapagbiro talaga si God, no? Akala mo nagbibiro pero totoo na pala.
Maluoy ka. What a good joke.
Kahapon kasi sabi ko lang na sabi ko, pinag-partner kami ni Bea. Nahihiya ako pag si Bea kasama ko kasi ang galing-galing niya. Kailangan pag-double tayo. Naiba talaga yung hindi nga side, yung second batch talaga ng UPTA. As first batch, sabi natin personal ko mas magaling talaga sila. So,
Masyado nakakahiya yan, ate. Grabe yun.
Ganun talaga ang pioneering, ate. Kasi
and then tapos sabi ko nga lang dun sa isa sa mga second batch na kasama ko kasi sa kahapon siya. Nahihiya ako talaga kapag kasama ko siya kasi kailangan mag-double time ako kasi ang galing-galing niya. Iba kasi yung breed ng second year. Sabi ko pareho lang naman kami ng tawag doon. We have the same time yung preparation, parang given time na gano'n. Pareho naman siya nag-aaral, ako nagtatrabaho, parang gano'n. Pero mas magaling pa rin talaga siya eh. And yun. So kailangan para hindi double time talaga. Sabi ko ako, magda-double time ako. Hindi pala ako double time. Triple time sa hindi lang pala triple time.
Lalo na ngayon, te.
Not here.
Lalo na ngayon, we are going out of our comfort zone na.
Okay.
Ako rin, nagpe-prepare na rin ako sa mga blessing seminar eh. So aside from BP, yung blessing seminar na rin, I'm preparing for it. How we can, sa bagay, we are now starting to contextualizing things in Asia Pacific naman. Kaya nga I let you join mga other seminars din natin. And UPTA is already known as a group of lecturers in Asia Pacific. So we are already being broadcast. Sabi ko nga dati, secret lang eh. Ayaw din pala ni God na sinisikreto. Kaya broadcast na niya.
Kahit si God, kuya, lahat ng gagawa niya, sinasabi niya sa prophet niya.
Maganda yan, papayat na ako.
Di po
Sexy
ba?
na ako.
Oh my God. Oh, our God pala. Bakit my God pa rin?
Baka pati yung farm natin, te, maging Asia Pacific na rin.
Oo nga, kuya. Actually, kaya nga
Maganda yun.
yeah, talaga. Paling ko ganun.
Kaya ang i-cater, i-finance na ng Leonera Farm is Asia Pacific na rin eh. Buong Asia Pacific. Tapos pagka yung doon sa Mindanao din kay Ate Sylvia, Asia Pacific na rin.
Actually, kuya, kasi yung magiging partnership natin with this girl that I am going, kasi witnessan ko talaga yung trying hard ako. Hindi siya masyadong promising, I should say, pero hindi pwedeng iwanan dahil syempre substantial yun na kailangan natin i-practice yun ng heart, paano talaga tayo mag-grow. Pero may mga nag-offer nga dalawa, yung isa, blessed family na talaga, yung isa, actually blessed na rin, pero single blessing kasi widow. And meron na talagang meron ng, ganito yung nakakatawa, yung single blessing, siya mismo nagpe-prepare ng farm. Sabi niya, she's discussing to me na, ganito yung, dito talaga mapra-practice yung advocacy mo, Sylvia, sabi niya ganun. Yun namang isa, yung blessed family na, gusto niya ipakita sa akin yung 3 hectares na yun. Dahil pwedeng tayo mag-design, yung ganun. Yun namang yung isa naman kuya yung pinag-usapan natin. Ay gusto naman na tayo yung mag-play ng internal aspect ng external na mga ginagawa niya. Ganun ka-challenging na parang, Lord, please help me. Because I cannot do it on my own doings. Itong challenges na ito. Kasi, yeah, I am thinking this is kind of external in a way. But, yeah, I also am gusto ko rin talaga na siguro yung comfort ng internal nature ni God is itong UPTA. Of course, I do not want to jeopardize. Of which, during the time na nandun ako sa Lanao, I am having hard time connecting. Kasi, hindi pa siya masyadong ganun ka, She has her own way, siyempre. So, hindi naman ako natatakot. But, of course, gusto ko rin pag-aralan kasi gusto ko malaman kung saan talaga yung point of entry natin. Ayoko pataka lang because she likes me to come. Ganun, ayoko din. Pero yeah, I always share to her yung mga natin. Sabi pa nga niya yung sinabi ko sa kuya, gusto kong can you create roadmap for us to do this? And I said, oh my God. Ano ba talagang gusto mo? Sabi niya, actually, I don't know where to get started. Sabi niya, my goodness.
So tama yung yung mga guide question natin sa para sa kanya.
Hindi niya alam daw saan siya mag-uumpisa. Basta alam lang niya, gusto niyang mayroon siyang marating. Gusto siyang mayroon siyang puntahan, mayroon siyang path to follow, parang gano'n. Pero sabi ko, kaya nga, in so doing, dapat sana, I cannot use dapat talaga because parang that sounds very demanding to them. Sana we will really couple this one with this advocacy that we have. Sabi niya, kaya nga, can you do that for me? Pero gusto na rin niyang iasali yung external. Sabi ko, hindi ako nagsasalita muna. Kasi, yeah, kung external lang, meron nandiyan naman si Ate Relina eh. Alam niya yung mga ganon. Yung internal siya, para ma-promote din kita. Sabi niya nga, yung promise. Yung advocacy niyo is makopol dun sa advocacy sa buong province. Sabi niya, yeah, why not? Eh, ganun yung kinahaharap ko for now. Na parang nakakatawa because it's challenging po. And to think na hindi siguro masyadong naiintindihan ng mga tao na nasa paligid ko. Directly, aside from you guys who is now listening to me. I am very comfortable. I know that I could be understood. I mean, I know you can relate with my feelings. Pero nandito, they seem to be not, ay siguro hindi ko pa masyadong naklaro sa kanila yun. Although they knew about it. Pero may mga improvement na so far. May mga improvement. Pero hindi po ganun ka-substance. Kaya, yeah. Marami pa tayong gagawin. Pero ako, naniniwala ako, kuya, na the internal condition would really be more concrete to help us able to establish the external forms. So, yeah. Ito muna. Tandahan lang yun mag-reveal sa atin kung paano po natin gagawin. Hindi pa nga niya nabasa yung book. Sa sobrang busy niya. Pero yung isa, yung nag-o-offer, yung ginagawa niya, nililinis na niya yung farm. Yung hectares din yun. Sabi niya, grabe, yung ingenuity ni True Father, sabi niya nun. Natutuwa talaga ako sa kanya. Yung DSWD, kuya ba? Grabe yung ingenuity ni True Father, no? You cannot imagine how he's been able to understand all these things. Paano niya na iintindihan yung life ng ocean? Paano niya intindihan yung kasi we had a meeting this afternoon. Nagmo-mobilize nga po kami. Pagdating ko dito, splak. Marami pang gagawin. Pero nakatulog ako, nag-idlip ako siguro ng mga 15 minutes. Tapos sabi ni Bia, Mama, pumasok ka na po dahil nandiyan na po siya, nakapasok pa siya. Tatawa ako.
Ayun nga pala, na-late pala ako, no? Mag-utang ako sa inyo. Nag-medical mission sa HQ eh.
Congrats, Kuya. I have to work. Thank you for your hard work din po. Grabe yung hard work.
Nahirapang gumalaw si Kuya Alfon, but he's getting better now. Kaya bukas may another session kami bukas. And siguro, we'll be discussing with Ate Dulce how we can also do some at least twice a month na medical missions, oriental medical missions ng lahat ng HQ staff. We'll be arranging that.
Wow, my God.
Kuya Julius.
That means hard work po. My God, thank you po, Kuya.
Kailangan ng support ni Kuya Julius. Okay, so anyway, yeah, as we do all of these things, we are now moving forward. Sa UPTA business naman, we have already the DTI certificate. Kaya we will now be processing for BIR and NFA para sa bigas saka sa ang pangalan natin yan is kasi wala pa lang general merchandising sa DTI. Kaya ang pangalan natin is CIG Consumer Goods Trading.
Wow.
So yun yung official name natin, registered name natin.
Wow.
CIG Consumer Goods Trading. So any goods na for consumer we can trade na So wala siyang boundary na as long as it is consumer centered na mga products.
Amazing.
So, kaya pwede na nating ano tawag nun? Pwede na nating pwede na tayo makipagsabayan. Lalong-lalo pagka and yung coverage ng DTI certificate natin is national.
Wow, amazing. I like that.
Kaya we can use
Expand
it. We can
everywhere.
use it in the whole Philippines. Kahit saan sa Pilipinas we can use it. Kaya nung
Very well done. Thank you,
tinatanong ko
Kuya.
ni Kuya Edwin kung anong i-register natin, go for the highest kasi we have a national
Level,
meron tayong national buong nation ang gusto nating tulungan, hindi lang yung sa Luzon, hindi lang sa
expensive ba, Kuya, ang DTI?
Yung yung national registration including stamp is 2,300.
Wow.
2,300. And it's good din na during that time, kinontak ako nung yung dati kong pasyente na na mini-maintain. Kasi nakita nila yung difference nung hindi na-session yung anak niya. Nung na-session saka nung hindi na-session, kaya sabi niya, at saka na-try din nila kasi sa PT kung paano i-session yung anak niya. Ibang-iba pa rin talaga, sabi niya, kaya we opted to retain you, Kuya. Kaya yun yung during that time, yun yung dumating yung blessing na yun, kaya we were able to register it immediately. And ang contract nga namin ngayon is, sabi niya, Kuya, even though you will do it for a year, walang problema.
Wow.
Just help my daughter to continuously become better.
Oh my God, that's really moving.
Tapos hindi lang kasi dapat isa lang, pero pati na rin yung kapitbahay nila na kasama nila sa trabaho. Actually 4 na sila na nagpapa-session every
How many
other.
minutes per person yan, Kuya?
Usually nag-spend ng 1 hour, 1 hour at
half? Okay.
1 hour pati na yung needling saka yung pagkalagay ng needle sa. Pero yung kay Celine yata nung the other day is tama, 1 hour din. Kasi lahat ng staff ng BFD Education the other 2 days ago ba yun, Herwin? 2 days ago yung sina Cecil, sina Jenny, si Celine.
May sinusitis yata si Celine, Kuya.
Yun ang inano namin kasi we're still arranging, inayos pa namin yung tiyan niya para maging na.
Anong ba yun si Celine pala, Kuya?
Pero so far, sabi naman niya ngayon, kahit kumakain na daw siya ng marami, hindi na daw sumasakit yung tiyan niya like before. Bago siya na-acupuncture. Kaya parang natatakot siya kumain dahil doon. Pero ngayon, nag-enjoy na siyang kumain ngayon. Kanina nga na tuwang-tuwa na siya na may pagkain doon sa And there will be another session that we'll be doing next week. Then, yun nga.
Thank you po, Kuya.
From UPTA staff. Yan, si Erwin nga Kaya hindi na nagtagal yung sakit ng katawan niya. Lumabas ka agad.
Wow, amazing.
Ano yung, sir, yung katawan ko, mas magaan na.
Mas okay na, no?
Saka, ubo na lang talaga. Yung sipon hindi na masyado.
Palabasin. Kailangan na lang na yan, Erwin. Magluto tayo ng Korean noodles para lumabas yan.
Wow.
Ano ba sakit niya?
Kuya?
Ano ba ang sakit ni Edwin?
Nung kwan ko yan, inubo siya eh. Tapos masakit yung katawan niya nung chunbo. After ng chunbo.
Sakit yung ulo ko, kuya.
Meron siyang
Ulo,
internal
katawan.
Pero
Grabe
walang
na.
ano,
Sakit
check ka
talaga.
naman, walang ano.
Ay, nagpa-check ako that time. Wala naman po.
Wala namang COVID
rapid
na,
test
ano?
lang. Rapid test.
Lagyan mo ng hotpack yung ano mo, ano, ubo ba? Yung ano, sa thorax. Kung may hotpack ka dyan.
Sige po.
Erwin, punta tayo kay Kuya Julius para makakuha ka ng hotpack doon sa ano. Hitpack doon sa tindahan niya.
Punta kayo doon. Pasyal kayo.
Yes, sir. Bukas, mag-ano tayo, sir, diba?
You can use it now.
Bulacan.
Bulacan tayo bukas ng umaga, 8 o'clock.
Oh.
Tapos, kasi hapon bibili sila ng ano eh, ng oven. Kaya dapat makabalik tayo kaagad ng ano.
I wanna taste this actually.
Kay Doc V na tayo mag-breakfast bukas. Sinabihan ko na siya.
Wow.
Kay Julius, sa graduation niyo kuya, either Padre Burgos tayo or sa ano, sa Real Quezon. Totoong Quezon tayo.
Wow.
Ikaw? Kahit saan?
Mag-fishing doon sa port. Sa port sa Real Quezon. Pero kung doon tayo sa Padre Burgos, shoreline fishing tayo.
Wow.
Padre Burgos na yun, Quezon? Quezon ba yun?
Okay ah. Lampas ng Gumaka, Quezon.
Oo. Anong mga ano doon? Yung mga resort, ano, di ba? Yung mga fish, parang fish pan na ano? Mga resort, gano'n?
Hindi kaya, doon tayo sa dagat mismo.
Sa dagat.
Shoreline tayo, yung bili tayo ng mga bingwit na ano. Tapos doon na tayo
Oo, maganda yun, mga fresh yun. Di ba kay ano, di ba, saan yung kay Caballero?
Sa Real Quezon. Real Quezon.
Real. Real.
Pero kung meron siyang kung alis siya papunta ng Mindanao, tapos meron siyang i-assign na mag-guide sa atin, we will be pushing through doon. Yun yung ano eh.
Ano ba yung Real Island siya? Medyo island?
Hindi kuya. Sa baba ng Tanay. Polillo Island yung yung doon sa ano. Pero sabi kasi ni Ray, meron daw yung magandang lugar doon na kahit mag-overnight tayo doon sa bundok, safe daw na ano. Tanong ko nga pala siya.
Saan banda yun?
Meron mabayaran pa
Sa
ng
Real
akong
Quezon kuya.
registration sa ano, interreligious na 99. May interreligious.
Kailan graduation ba namin? Hindi. Summer?
Ano kuya, last week ng February.
Ganon?
It get started now, BLG.
Sa first batch?
Opo.
Pwede na ba mag-ano doon? Yung hindi ba tayo mag-question sa ano?
Tinanong ko na siya kuya, wala naman daw.
Walang ano? Kasi from town to town para may mga rules ng ano sila eh.
Sabi niya, yun lang unang tinanong ko eh, kung pwede na eh. Sabi niya wala naman daw problema.
Okay na.
Rio? Sure.
Bundok at dagat kasi maganda dun sa sa Real Quezon.
Maganda yan.
Tapos drop tayo ng IPLC.
Puro tayo sa city palagi tayo eh. Dapat ibang environment.
Pwede yung sakyan mo kuya?
Okay naman, no.
Ilan
tayo? Ilan tayo?
Marami tayo.
Ay, hindi kasya. Hindi kasya to. Kasya doon, 4-5 passengers, pang-anim ako. 4 sa likod, 1 sa harap. Kasi
Nako,
coach lang yun eh.
ikaw, si Manina, si Erwin, si Ate Relina, si Celine, si Jenny, si
Ay, hindi kasya.
Cecil.
Dami pala. Yung HQ
Ito.
na ban na lang. Hindi ko pwedeng ano natin yan.
I-kuan ko ya kung merong available na car.
O sino pa may car sa ano natin? Para kung man-accommodate lahat.
Sa akin,
Close
kuya,
kayo
nasa
na.
ano pa? Nasa,
Close kayo ni kay Edwin Granada, kuya?
Ah, hindi. Hindi masyado. Pero ano kami?
Madali lang si
batch
Kuya
mate
Edwin
kami.
kausapin Kuya Randy.
Sa bagay, pwede mag-drive kung mahiram. Si Heroin, di ba? Maka-drive naman.
Hindi, nahiya kasi akong mag-direct kay Kuya Edwin eh kasi hindi
Ang
tatanggi
gapon
yun
mo,
sa
parang
akin eh.
ganina.
Pag ako
Ayun,
magsabi kay Kuya Edwin Granada, hindi mo tatanggi yun eh. Pero
mas
syempre medyo
maganda.
Madali lang yun
Para
si Kuya.
hindi makatandi.
Madali lang si Kuya Edwin.
Kasi di ba meron siyang L3, di ba kuya?
Oo,
Sa YEG
Oo, yun.
Construction Group nila.
Oo.
Ay, tanong ko pala kay Kuya Edwin para
Dalawa ata yung
reserve
kotse
ka na.
niya. Dalawa ata yung ano niya eh. Kasi mayroon nung nagpunta kami sa mushroom niya, mayroon isa pang ano doon eh.
Meron siyang white van kuya, L3 na van.
Oo. Yung kapatid niya yung nagda-drive.
Sige, kausapin ko na lang siya para
Kung lahat na tayo doon, pwede na.
You search.
So, ready ka na kuya to become an international lecturer?
Anong international? Bakit international?
Oh, kasi nakapag-lecture na tayo kasama si Jiel eh, kaya
Oo, pwede
international na tayo.
Oo, virtual.
International. Kaya one of the things that we are thinking also, if we will be catering the whole Asia Pacific for education ng mga blessing candidates, saka matching candidate, baka magkaroon tayo ng night shift saka day shift. Ibig sabihin, merong night lecture saka day lecture. So we're still thinking how we can cater that.
Pwede, marami na rin tayo eh. May partnership na tayo eh. Ilan kayo mag-graduate sa Randy? Sa batch 1? 5, 6.
5 yata kuya. Ikaw, si Manena, Sherwin, Aterelina, Celine. 5?
5.
5.
Ano tayo doon? One day, 2 days, 1 night, gano'n?
Okay, overnight tayo na.
Overnight.
Yung pagdating natin doon, fishing, tapos yung sa gabi, doon tayo sa bundok mag-bonfire.
Dala tayo ng gitara din. May gitara naman nata dyan.
Yung kay Cecil kuya.
Meron din ako dito eh.
Dali mo rin kuya para
Gusto mo may electric guitar din ako dito.
Dala rin tayo ng battery kuya. Ay, hindi.
May sound system din ako dito.
Nako.
Yung saksakan lang kulang.
Kailangan natin ng solar niya para
Mayroon din akong mic na
Kailan ka ba pupunta dito, Ate Sylvia? Last week ng February?
Kuya, ito yung naproblemahan ako. Kasi 14. Tapos baka mag-quarantine po ako. Baka hindi ako makabalik agad.
So, maabutan mo yung kwante. Yung graduation ng first batch. Andi dito ka nun. Di
Oh
ba?
my God.
14,
Kailangan pa
28.
talaga ako
Oh,
mag-quarantine, kuya?
oo. Kasi intercity travel.
I'm thinking na to pursue na lang.
Hala, paano yung graduation, te? Si Celine
Grabe,
ka-graduate.
parang gusto... Ano ba yan? Oh Lord, help me.
Papayag ka ba, te, na hindi mo?
Huwag mo akong konsensyahin, kuya. Grabe ka naman, oh.
hindi lang halata, te.
Kailangan ko mag-fundraising ng todo para magkaroon ako ng pampabalik na pampabalik na pamasahe. Alam mo ba yun? Beng, kailangan ko pala mag-quarantine talaga pagka mag-go ako.
Kuya Julius,
Hmm.
kamusta yung difference ng t-shirt saka yung sa nakita mo na?
Hindi pala bigla.
Kasi tinignan namin ni Irene yung nandun sa overrun sa Metro Point. Yung binebenta nila ng 195 ang isa. Manipis yung tela tapos medyo mapusyaw yung kulay.
Konting difference lang.
If you are very keen, you might be able to see the difference. Pero for those people na hindi masyadong keen, baka hindi nila makita masyado yung difference po.
Yung na texture mo.
Kasi yung mga tao na kuya, pero meron talagang magaling magkilates po talaga. Alam na alam yung original at saka hindi.
Yeah.
Medyo kapal konti. Yung dito.
Patingin yung neckline yan, kuya?
Ha?
Patingin yung neckline niya.
Yan.
Mas malaki yung mas malaki yung linya na dyan sa
Di
Pero
ba
mas
to
makapal
pambaba?
yung mas makapal yung dito yung sa sa atin. Tapos yung
Hindi, ito
tela.
sa'yo to eh.
Yan yung isa yung
Ito yung sa sa akin.
Ayun. Ayun, wala siyang double line, kuya.
Ito dito.
Oo. Kasi
Medyo
yun yung
siya. Medyo manipis konti.
Yun yung protector ng para hindi magsag yung ng t-shirt.
Oo, meron siya dito.
Yung support sa ilalim.
Oo. Wala nga siya.
Kaya yan, madaling may stretch yan na unlike yung isa na meron siyang support backup.
Kapal konti yung ito. Yung sa'yo.
Kaya hindi nila pwedeng maibabayan, kuya, yung presyo niyan eh. Ngayong February talagang mataas ang presyo niya. Kasi kahit doon sa source talagang 330, 350 ang bigay nila ng isa. Tapos nung nagsabi kami ng ba't merong 195, binigyan kami. Pero yun nga, kumbaga yung kulay nung kulay nung yung mas mahal, iba yung kulay niya. Kasi yung mapusyaw na parang kulang sa kulay yung
Medyo ano siya, labnaw yung ano niya.
Kaya tingnan mo yung red niyan, kuya. Yung red nung hawak mo kanina. Kumuha ka nga sana ng red, kuya, para may kumpara mo yung kulay. Mas matingkad yung kulay ng red nung
Oo nga, saka ito medyo ano nga siya, faded. Little faded. Ang source namin ito yung Bangladesh eh. Si Miss John kasi ang ano nito. Pag may business si John na bago, yung partner kami niyan palagi. Talagang ginano sa akin kaya na-encourage din ako mag ganito.
Kaya nga ang tagline natin sa online is yung mahal sa mall, kami nang bahala sa presyo. Abot presyo ng masa. So hindi mo kailangan ng mahal, kailangan ng malaking pera para makabili ka ng magandang damit sa mall.
Kailangan isang ano din yan, pagka yung ano kasi natin, pagsisikat naman yung store natin sa online, kasi ano yan eh, kumbaga branded, yun din yung isang risk doon. Kasi syempre
mapag-initan ko yan.
Pag-initan. Ganyan yung mga yan eh. Kaya dapat ano din.
Sa Lazada pa lang, pagkasabing overruns, ang dami na eh.
Oo, marami.
Pagka i-check mo rin sa Google ang overruns, marami na rin. Kaya kumbaga, gagawa lang tayo ng kakaibang tagline na hindi nila ginagamit.
Isang parang unique na ano ba? Parang hindi masagasaan din yung isang ibang kasi pag naman, di masyado matunog, medyo okay lang. Pero pagka medyo ingay yung yung mga niyan, talaga mag-react. Ako nga, isitan nga ako niyan kasi binubos nga namin sa sa Facebook. Nare-reject siya eh. Ang thinking ko, baka dahil nga branded, baka
ayaw talaga ng Facebook, kuya.
Ayaw nilang
hindi sila nag-accommodate niyan. Kaya yung sa perfectgift.tk, yun naman is personal naman yung kay Edwin yun eh, kaya walang problema yan.
Sana yan, website naman yan. Parang free ata yung dyan, website. TK ang
Tapos meron pa yung isa na ginagamit niya sa
pag naman, hindi naman sila, yung mga ko nga, items na iba, yung King Herbal, naglasada kami niyan eh. Talagang sinerge ko yung doon, pinakabababa kami. Napag-initan kami ng ibang dealer. Patingin ng hinanapan kami ng mga yung mga kung authorized outlet ba kami. Kasi sobrang baba na tatapakan sila eh. Kaya yan din ang risk ng na parang lalabas ka doon sa pricing standard. Nagre-react yan sila eh. Kasi pagka ganun yung pricing mo, siyempre yung iba, doon sa mura. Kaya lang isang din doon, ipinapalabas nila, peke kasi mura. Hanapan ka ng mga kung authorized ka talaga na
certification ng mga
Pero sa mga ganyan kasi mayroon din kami. Kasi pag papasok ka sa ganyan, kailangan kompleto ka rin. Kailangan nilalaro ko dun sa pricing. Kasi bagong ano ka dyan, bagong entry ka, kung iparehas mo yung pricing nila, di walang kakagat sa'yo, di ba? Mumurahan mo para ikaw, sa'yo naman pupunta yung ano, established na sila eh.
Okay, so ano pa bang ano natin? Yun lang talaga ang pinaka main update. Yung sabi ko na baka last na natin na Philippine audience yung ngayong 6 batch. Actually 7 batch yun eh, pang 7th batch. Last na yun na ano.
Ibig sabihin mag-accept na tayo ng mga ano, yung ibang ano nationalities na ano, candidates, blessing candidates gano'n.
Ang suggestion ni Ate Dulce sa Asia Pacific kuya is they should join our seminar even from other country.
UPTA mag-lecture.
Okay. Yung 21 days mismo natin na ano. And
Talaga?
I'm also thinking na we can also get from them students to be trained in UPTA na maging lecturer ng countries.
May special ano din sila session.
Wow, expanding talaga tayo, global.
Florida, please.
Kaya we needed to go out from our comfort zone. Sabi ni God, tama na yan, sobra na kayo. Kaya lumabas na kayo dyan, sabi niya.
Nagtatago po ba?
Ewan ko ba? Sabi ko kay Ate Dulce, sikreto lang muna natin ate kasi we're still preparing, sabi niya. Anong sikreto? Pwede mo bang isikreto kay God? Sabi niya. Wala na akong, sabi ko, okay. We'll just cope up. Meron namang learning curve na at least two sessions na ano eh. 2 batches. Okay. Pero the good thing is the reason why Ate Dulce said that is talaga nandoon din kasi yung trust niya sa atin. Talagang nakita din niya yung sincerity ng bawat isa sa atin and yung commitment natin to really not only give lecture to participants but to really educate them na talagang kumbaga iba nga yung the way they look at the blessing yung mga graduates natin eh. Even sa mga ibang maliban na lang talaga yung may mga strong connections. Pero yung mga talagang willing to really understand and discover their path towards God and true parents talaga. Kaya nga sa interview, pagka nagpa-personal interview si Ate Dulce sa ako, una namin tinatanong is, after listening to the divine principle, how do you look at the blessing?
Very hard question to answer then.
Kaya sabi niya, ayoko magpa-interview kay Kuya Randy kasi nakakatakot. Sabi niya. Nakakatakot ba ako?
Sarap kayo matuto sa inyo po.
So, and yun nga, lahat ng ini-interview talaga natin Dulce ngayon, pagka wala pa, hindi pa nag-undergo ng 21 days online DP ng UPTA, talagang pwede kang ma-match, pero hindi ka makapag-join ng blessing kung hindi mo natapos yun. Kasi what for pa na mag-attend ka ng blessing kung hindi mo rin naman seryosohin yung blessing. Okay. Yun yung laging sinasabi ni Ate Dulce na kaya pagka ano nga daw, actually hindi niya alam pero minsan nakikinig si Ate Dulce sa mga lecture eh. Pinaparinig ko sa kanya yung mga lecture, binibigay ko yung link. How do you lecture sa mga participants natin sa YouTube?
Meron kasi, ano ba yun? Yung cost ng pag-application, saka yung yung interview, malaki yung cost mo. So, sayang nga talaga kung in the end magka-cancel ka. Parang job interview din eh, parang hiring, di ba? Pag nag-hire ka, plus yung cost ng hiring, kaya.
Saka aside from that, Atesh, yung life and death na in-offer ni Father for us to receive the blessing.
Oo.
Yun yung pinaka-ano. Ready na si Kuya Julius sa graduation, no? Nagpa-practice na.
Hindi, kay Kuya Joshua, yung nila family.
Yung
ano sila.
Yung band nila kaya, family band?
Oo. Kakaingit eh. Baka magtayo din ako ng family band. Meron din si Mrs. ng organ eh. Tapos yung anak kong isa, yung panganay, mga gitarist din sila, saka yung bunso. Pwede ko i-bass yun. Tapos yung isa, paturuan ko ng drum na lang. Kasi hilig din sa music eh.
Talagang merong inclination talaga sa music ang mga ano. Ito mga anak ko nga, tigisa na nagpabili sila ng kalimba na yung para sa music nila, kanya-kanya.
My daughter knows kalimba but I don't know it. Maganda daw sa tenga, sabi niya.
So ibig sabihin, next na ang natin, the way we practice na ngayon is magkaroon na rin tayo ng shift na English only policy.
Okay.
Ano yun?
Okay? English only policy, tapos ano pa ba? Anyway, along the way naman, makita natin what are the things that we have to develop para we can give a better presentation.
Kailangan ko na interpreter.
Wag mo ko pakinggan ate, grabe ka ha.
Baka nga baka magkaroon din tayo ng second and third language channel eh.
Talaga?
Importante yung Korean.
Ano ba yung ginagamit sa Herwin, sa mga translator?
Translate. Hindi ko alam siguro yung may mga device na ngayon na
Yung para sa translation.
Translate agad.
Rinig.
Iyan mo nga rin para maano natin, may sama natin yun sa development ng natin.
Mayroong niyan eh, yung apps na parang different languages na pwedeng
Yung camera yung nakita ko kuya na pagka yung nakasulat, pwede mong i-translate sa iba't ibang language. Kaso lang hindi pa ganun kaano kasi. Yung Philippine translator nga, pag sinabi mong Eva, ang Eve lumalabas Evac eh. Pero Germany kasi ang gumawa ng German technology. Pag Eve ang ilagay mo, Evac ang linalabas niya na ano.
Amazon.
Merong Amazon, yung outright translator. Sa Google meron sila Google Translator kaso lang from English to Tagalog, maraming mga palya eh. Hindi ko lang alam sa ibang country. Alam ko Thailand meron silang ano eh. Kasi ang Thailand nagka-create sila ng sarili ng translation system. Na ano.
Maraming sablay ba?
$100.
Yung direct translation.
Voice. 200 pero 100 na lang. Okay.
May discount.
Sa Amazon.
Anyway, ano natin. Tignan mo natin mga iba't ibang platform para sa ganun makapag-ready tayo kung kinakailangan ng translator na. Kasi ang
Tuloy
ano
na ba
naman,
yung 6 months ng
16 po. 16 ang start ng 6 batch.
16 pa, hindi pa. So hindi pa sa hindi pa sa 9.
Hindi pa te.
Hindi pa sa Tuesday.
Nagkuhan muna tayo ng parang 2 weeks na 2 weeks na rest. Kaya kasi sunod-sunod tuloy-tuloy na yung ano eh. Tuloy-tuloy na yung hanggang 5th batch eh. Kaya sabi ko medyo mag-ano muna tayo. Mag-relax muna sandali na ano. Parang time na and during that time din I would suggest na you will also remake your presentation na rin during the time na hindi tayo busy sa ano.
Nakakapag-practice kami at the same time yung presentation, malagyan nung gusto mo, yung sinasabi mo ng mga
mga additional expression coming from true parents na
I insert.
So at least 16 yung 16 siya. So merong 2 weeks na 2 weeks na gap. So during the time yung walang lecture na days, you can prepare for your lectures. And at the same time, you can also try it during the time na kayo mag-lecture sa mga 5th batch. Bali, dalawa na lang naiwan na Herwin, 5th batch sa yung special group natin.
Yes,
special group sa kayo.
Tapos na rin yung special sa 19.
Sa 19 siya matapos?
Oo.
Feb 19. Anyway, ganun na lang din gawin natin yung sinabi ni ate. We'll let them submit and then dun sa online, mag-fill up sila sa online. Tapos yung form, mag-submit sila ng form. Application form hingin nila kay Jenny at kay Celine. And then magbigay na lang tayo ng condition sa kanila. Kung hindi pa sila nakapag 7 days, at least 7 days fasting. And then aside from 7 days fasting, yung makapag-raise sila ng 3 spiritual children. Actually, ang iniisip ko is 3 yung condition nila. 7 days fasting, 3 spiritual children, tapos divine principle reading. Black book na divine principle reading. And also we will be encouraging them to join UPTA na rin.
Ano yan? Sa 6 batch or sa yung 7 batch?
Special ate.
Yung special batch natin, te, yung Friday.
Okay.
Friday schedule.
Yung brother ba doon, ano yun, bago?
IPLC.
IPLC yun, te?
IPLC rin?
Lumabas eh. Hindi siya nakagraduate.
And then, sabi na ni Ate Dulce Herwin na sa BFD Education na sila mag-connect pareho. So, ibig sabihin, under na sa atin yung ano nila. So, even yung tides nila, through Jenny na rin yung pag-ano nila ng tides. Para talagang may prepare natin sila.
Very good condition yan.
So yung tatlong condition na yun ang ipaano mo sa kanila pagkaano. Yung 7 days fasting, 3 spiritual children, and then divine principle reading na ano, yung black book na 3 colors ang gamitin nila.
Miss Sylvia,
Yes,
yung
ma'am.
ano, yung may papa-lecturean ka, di ba, kay Sir Randy? Wala pang update doon?
Wala pa. Hindi pa nga niya na, Pumunta ko last week. Halos we don't have time to talk kasi masyadong busy. Nagstay ako doon and I cannot immediately go out from the area dahil nga po wala akong kolorom ako eh. And then sila yung pinaka-strict sa but yun, parati niya akong inaano na I have to go. Kahit yung punta ko doon, maunting bagay lang yung gusto niyang ipagawa sa akin. Kasi nag-join nga ako ng organic farming training. Dahil yun yung nilook forward ko na if and when meron tayong parang demo farm or something, it should also become a learning site. Hindi lang yung package lang siya na farm or demo farm something. Ayoko nang gano'n. Kasi alam ko na doon din nakaka-raise din tayo doon ng funds. Kasi babayaran tayo. Pag learning site tayo, babayaran tayo ng ATI. Yeah, farmers that would be playing.
Yung kay Arman Morala sa ano bang klaseng farming yung sa kanya? Kasi parang Korean, yung sa kanya Korean.
I haven't been there at saka hindi kami nagkausap.
Pero kilala mo si Arman?
Of course. Isa yan sa mga natin mga 30,000 couple ba yan sila? Or parang 360,000.
Hindi ko matandaan kung baka kapareho nila sa Randy. Kung hindi 360,000. Hindi ate, mas bata yun sa akin. Si Intramuros yun
Intramuros yun sa Mapua yun di ba? Gumaduate?
Opo.
Meron din palang update sa Erwin, lumabas na yung fruit of our investment sa Kainta.
Oh, wow. Ano yun, kuya?
Sabi ni Doc Wiloria, update from Kainta Daycare Center. Number 1 is willing to have workshop with AMMS.
Wow.
Tapos aside from that, willing to pay a minimal amount of 50 pesos for workshop fee. Workshop and seminars. Number 3 is coordination with their group on how we will have a certificate as accredited continuing education as daycare center teacher.
Wow.
So, ibig sabihin, yung continuous education ng mga daycare teacher natin, nila will make an agreement that will be accredited as the Yung parang para makakuha sila ng points as a daycare teacher.
Oh, great.
So,
Papasok talaga yung ano natin,
Hmm.
Moodle.
ang inaano namin, ang i-arrange namin is yung introduction chapter 1, chapter 2 with all the sections. So, 12 sections kasi 6 section yung chapter 1 plus 6 section yung chapter 2. Yun yung pinaka-ano. And then number 4, etong awaiting for their supplemental lesson where we can be of help. So they will be
Wow.
willing to discuss kung ano yung mga lessons nila and then paano natin integrate yung ano natin. Kaya we'll be presenting to them the full version of chapter 1 and chapter 2 with 12 sections. Tapos every time na may workshop, one section at a time. So they will find a venue and at the same time yung registration for their certificate.
Galing.
So that's the Kung mag-Zoom tayo, we will be using BFD Education Zoom. So yung registration fee nila will be supporting the maintenance of our Zoom na So ang maging certifying body is AMMS, BFD, UPTA, and DSWD Kainta. Yun yung ano natin.
Wow, great.
So daycare teacher, and then aside from daycare teacher, we'll be expanding it to the parents of the daycare. Yun yung initial talk namin with the DSWD Kainta. Kasi ang isang problema ng mga DSWD teachers din, yung mga bata talaga merong parents fatigue. And kaya paano natin itanggalin yung stress ng parents sa pag-take care din sa kanila, pag-guide sa kanila mga anak. Okay, and sabi ni Doc Wee, let's start first with the teachers and then after that, we'll organize naman yung sa mga parents.
Para may magandang magandang give and take relationship between the children and the
Mga daycare ba, meron din silang online?
Sante? Opo.
Yung mga daycare, naka-online sila?
Opo.
Galing. Talaga?
interactive at saka workshop type yata. May mga demo, something ganun. Kasi it would...
Kaya, mahirap yun. Early childhood education. No, hindi mo. Na online. Kakatuwa.
Very,
Hindi ko siya ma-imagine.
workshop type lang yata. Interactive at saka workshop type. Like pag-drawing. Bakit yan? Marang
Siguro, pati merong mga ganun-ganun yung teacher kung ano na pinagagawa.
Very talented yung mga teachers ng mga ganun toddlers.
And ang pinaka-endpoint natin is all the teachers should be receiving the blessing.
Nakita ka po talaga.
All the teachers and actually, ang goal ng AMMS doon is merong makabuo ng 430 ang AMMS doon.
Wow.
And aside from AMS, kasi kasama na rin ng UPTA at BFD, so we'll be getting at least 430 ng each. Tatlong body that is working in that community.
Magaling, Trinity na kaagad.
So, kaya nga, yung lecturing ni Doc V talagang ngayon, sabi nga niya sana magbago yung schedule niya para makapagbigay pa rin siya ng time na mag-lecture sa UPTA sa mga participants natin sa 21 days.
Kawawa.
Siya yung irregular na UPTA.
Opo.
Nakakatuwa.
Gustong-gusto ko nga po i-invite si Ma'am Ann na kuya sa UPTA. Kaya lang, syempre, siya yung lisensyado siya eh. And tapos nagtatayo nga sila ng what is this? Parang foundation dito. Parang external siya ng although ini-educate siya ni ate, pero ang feeling ko kasi, ibang-iba yung, at saka, syempre, hindi lang feeling, totoo naman, iba yung education system natin dito. Masusupport yung kanyang very rich external experience, I should say. Matutulungan din tayong mag-formulate katulad nung ganon. Tapos internal na, yung ganon tipo. Pero yeah, hindi pa masyado akong nakapenetrate doon. Kaya kanina nung nag-uusap kami, sabi ko, sabi niya, it's very coincidental, no, na naka-join ako dito. Sabi niya po, ma'am, wala namang coincidence dito, ma'am. Lahat naman naka-prepare, sabi ko. So, paano kaya, no? Kung earlier ninyo akong namit, diniretso ko siya, sabi, alam mo, ma'am, hindi ka sasali because you're too busy doing your project. So, definitely, you would not even recognize na kailangan mo pala to. Only now because you're not doing anything. Siya, ganun ba? Oo, talaga po. Might as well kasi marunong ka, alam mo kung sino ka eh. So, masabihin mo, ginagawa na namin yan, meron kaming ganyan. Sabihin mo talaga, baka, ganun. Or might as well, you will definitely say that. Tinignan niya ako na, totoo yan, Silva? Yes, ma'am. Siyempre, I am very strong on my conviction in saying it, sabi niya. Oo nga, no? Sabi niya ganun. Kaya si ate, mapapangangayan si ate pagka nag-usap kami. Every time na parang, gusto niya i-validate kay ate, yung sinasabi ko na very straightforward. Tapos, yun, nagka-agree din siya. Oo nga, no? Sabi niya. Natatawa na lang ako.
Anong foundation na buhay nila, te?
True Peace Foundation. Siya yung nagpa-finance, kuya, kasi in a foundation, you need $1 million.
1 million trust fund nun eh.
Trust fund. Meron siya
kasi
nun, kuya.
Meron tayong meron na rin tayong naka-prepare na foundation eh. Actually, yung foundation under ng PCJ Wealthy at saka is Palace of Hope Foundation.
Hope?
Palace of Hope po.
Palace of Hope. Sa kanila, True Peace. Tapos, syempre, externally, kailangan kasi natin, kuya, kasi yung advocacy natin from family strengthening, po. Siyempre, kailangan natin ng licensed social worker. Siyempre, meron siya, very qualified siya. Kaya, very confident siya. Sabi niya, pagka meron daw tayong foundation, siyempre, yung mga board of directors, ay buhay na buhay daw. Kasi, alam niya kung paano gawin yun. Kaya sabi ko, oh my God, hindi pwedeng ganyan lang. Tapos, parang, sabi mga napag-usapan natin ko parang pag VIP, medyo napapamper sila and all. Kailangan silang, talaga, they have to go through this process para maluto ika nga. Kasi hindi pwedeng, lang, dahil marunong sila, magaling sila, yung kikilala na si True Father. Siya yung nagsabi na, grabe yung ingenuity ni True Father, no? Sabi niya, I cannot imagine how he was able to understand all these things. Itong mga pinag-uusapan natin, yung halimbawa yung tuna factory, yung lahat ng hinahawakan ni Father nagpa-prosper daw, ganun siya ka-believe. Of course, because Messiah yan eh. Sabi ko, hindi ko sinabing Messiah, pero siya na mismo nagsabi niya. Kaya ganun talaga.
Baka pag marinig niya yung fish powder, mas lalong
Actually, na-mention yun partially ni Ate Dulce, ni Ate Grace, pero hindi elaborate dahil hindi niya masyado na-explain siya. So, ibig sabihin pala, sabi niya ganun, nasabi ko yun, na, alam mo, ma'am, yung fish powder, yung actually tablet pa nga na ginagamit ng mga astronaut na food nila in the outer space is, yun, galing yun sa idea ni True Father, sabi niya nga. Ibig sabihin, marami pa akong malalaman, sabi niya nga. Wala itong yung autobiography niya, pahapyaw lang to, sabi niya nga. Yes, ma'am, marami pa po kayong na kailangang malaman kung magbabasa pa po kayo, sabi niya. Ganon? Kaya natutuwa ako. I really look forward. Kanina, actually, ayaw ko sanang sumama kasi trinit niya kami for parang trinit niya kami for a halo-halo, something like that. Dahil nga, we work hard daw, sabi niya. Tapos, ayaw ko sanang sumama dahil ang dami-dami pa namin i-follow up kaya tatawagan yung mga focal persons.
Mga bukas na ngayon,
for tomorrow. Sabi niya, no, sama tayo. Si Ate Grace sabi niya, sige, wag ka nang sumama, dito ka lang. Kasi ang dami talagang gagawin pa, hindi pa enough yung time. Tapos nag-insist siya. Tapos yun yung sigurong hindi niya na. Namimiss kita, Sylvia eh. Sabi niya, kasi naglanaw nga ako. Tagal mo hindi, kumusta na kasi Sylvia doon? Nag-inusara daw ako, mag-isa lang. Sabi niya. Kaya, yun. Natutuwa ako doon sa kanya. I cannot just, hindi ako makabuelo dahil na, Ma'am, can you join us? Pero ipapajoin niya yung yung kanyang apo ng 21 days, ngayon 16. Sabi niya, gusto ko isama.
Register niya, te?
Oo, i-register namin. Bata pa yun, wala pang background, kuya. Seventh-day Adventist yung nila, yung religious background. Pero, tsaka, ilang taon ba yun? Siguro grade 7 or 8, something. Malaking bulas lang. So, yeah, sabi ko, meron tayong
Halos nakuubos na ako ng flyers.
Nakakatuwa yan siya, kuya, talaga. And I know na pagka nandito siya pagka kayo kausap, mas ma-amuse siya, alam ko. Hindi lang ma-amuse because the reality naman ang pinag-uusapan natin eh. Mas maluto siya sa principal. Sabi nga niya, gusto niya mag full-time. Can you imagine? Full-time siya. Hindi niya intindi. Ano ang full-time dito? Sabi ko, ma'am, ang full-time dito sa amin, wala kang i-receive. Sabi niya, okay lang yun kasi may pera nga kuya. Di ba? Sabi ko sa'yo, yung kanyang yung kanyang pension na sa 80,000. Hoy, Mariusip, ano yun? No, di ba? So, wala siyang problema. It just prepared lang siya. Sabi ko, you're just prepared, ma'am. Lahat ng external preparations mo are definitely made for this moment. Sabi niya. We were talking about, hindi naman ako masyadong providential person eh. Sabi niya gano'n. Kasi ngayon ko lang na-meet ang movement. Sabi ko, sino may sabi sa'yo, ma'am? You are indeed a providential person. Sabi ko, it's just that na your time is now. Hindi nung minsan 2 years ago. Kasi katulad ng sinabi ko sa iyo a little while, sabi ko, you would not say yes to us. Because masyado kang confident. Nandyan ka sa comfort zone mo ikaw. Tapos ang dami mong project kanan. So, how would you be able to notice us? Sabi ko, hindi. Wala mo kami manonotice. Sabi ko gano'n. Ngayon ka lang nakanotice dahil ito yung prepared time ni God for you to become part of the whole. Sabi ko gano'n. Talaga ba? Opo. Sabi ko, tingnan niya si Ate Grace. Si Ate Grace kasi mapapaano na yun. Sabi ko, pinagsasabi ni Sylvia. Hindi naman ako magsabi ng dahil naisip ko lang, syempre natutunan ko yan dito, no? Tapos, syempre, part na rin ng experience, yan. Very forward ako sa kanya. I'm sorry, ma'am, if sometimes or oftentimes I'm very forward to you. Pero ito na yung kailangan mo eh, sabi ko ganyan. And hindi na ako magpapaligoy-ligoy sa'yo dahil andyan naman lahat ng foundation mo eh. Kailangan mo na lang gamitin at i-maximize for the greater glory of God. Sabi ko, for the greater purpose ni God. Talaga ba? Opo. Sabi ko gano'n, talaga ngayon yung totoo, ma'am. Natawa na lang si Ate Grace kaya parang kung ako nagsasalita o kami nag-uusap, parang kausap ko matagal ng tao na nandito sa movement. Paano? Ano na siya eh? Nag-APLC pala siya, kuya. Yung nag-APLC siya. Tapos siya yung nag-reflection representing Philippines. Yung first batch ba or second batch? Parang ganun. First batch yata. Yeah. Yan. Tutuwa na rin ako sa kanya. So, alam ko marami pa siyang purpose na marami mas malaki pa yung purpose na piniprepare ni God para sa movement, para sa atin, para kay Heavenly Parents.
Parang na lang gawin natin parang kay Doc V na kasi ang last wish ni Doc V is gusto na lang niya mag-lecture ng DP. Lalo pagka pumasa na si Colin sa medical board niya, sabi niya, bahala na si Colin, basta ako makapag-lecture na ng DP.
Yun din yung kuya yung hinahanap siguro niya. Parang sabi niya, ayoko ng traditional na belief. Sabi niya gano'n. Hindi ko gusto. Hinahanap kahit nga meron daw siyang church. Di daw talaga niya nagugustuhan, may hinahanap pa daw siya. Dito lang daw siya nakahanap. Sabi niya gano'n. Ayan.
Ayan, huwag nating sayangin yan. Nandito na tayo.
Kaya nga kuya, hindi ako makaboylo sa kanya dahil nandiyan si Ate Grace. Parang si Ate Grace ayaw siyang bitawan yung gano'n. Kasi mga VIP sila effective. Kahit VIP effect sila, kailangan nila mas lalo dito. Para sila matuto, para ma-use sila ni God more. Kasi mga VIP effect sila eh. Mga effect sila eh. So,
Dapat wala na effect. Dapat na. True to life na.
true to life
Hindi na effect.
Oo nga po eh.
Actually, doon kasi na-train si Ate Grace eh. More on PR na. Kaya ngayon yung binabreak namin ni Kuya John before na hindi lang dapat puro PR. Dapat i-connect din natin yung, kumbaga, let's tell the truth. Para sa ganun, they will be the one to decide if they will be if they will be pledging to God or not. If they will pledge to God, at least we win victory. But if they will be still pledged to Satan, we'll make a way to let them be connected to God.
Natatawa ko kuya kasi kwento mo na ito. Itong VIP natin dito sa Miss Or, kasi nga may konti akong foundation. So, yun, sinama ako ni Ate Grace. Tapos we have a very strong endorsement from the ABC president of the current leadership. Sabi niya talaga, really requesting all liga ng mga barangay to participate. So yung nasya-shock siguro yun. Pero syempre dahil nga may foundation ako doon, kaya siguro ako sinasama ni ate na yun yun, nakakatuwa minsan dahil kahit ipinapakilala ko siya, siya po yung assistant director natin for PR in the UPTA Philippines, gano'n. Pero sabi, pagdating doon, ikaw magsalita, gano'n. So, parang nakakaaktiwa kasi yun dahil boss ko kaya siya. Pero syempre, inuutosan, in the external point of view, parang boss ko siya, syempre. And, bakit ako magsasalita? Diba? Parang joker bitaw na, hala, bakit yung bata-bata lang ang magsalita, ang ganon. Pero because siguro doon dahil sa foundation na yun, we have that very strong endorsement. Kahit doon sa vice governor na nagre-require talaga ng all together with the HR ng province na nagre-require ng lahat ng mga provincial government employees to really register in the link. Yan yung endorsement, no? Ako pa rin yung pambala niya na, Sylvia, sa Sylvia, may forever talaga pala sa atin, no? Sabi niya, ganun. Ano yung forever? Kasi kami ni ate Grace, kuya, sekreto na to. Yung away bati kami noon, away bati. Hindi, kasi I'm very forward. Yung kung ano yung, pagkatapos nito, ate, anong gagawin natin? Tinatanong ko talaga yung ganun. Tapos, siyempre, iba yung feeling nila, iba yung kanilang understanding. So, she doesn't like it. Yung mga ganun. Tapos, yung may magsasabihin na ako na siyempre, maybe hindi siguro maganda din ang pagka-present. So, nagagalit yan, nag-aaway po kami para kaming mga magkapatid na away bati po talaga. For this time, sabi niya, pwede kitang i-recommend kay Sir Venus. Sabi niya, ha? Ano ba yun, ate? Kasi marami akong ginagawa. Sabi ko ganun. Kasi alam ko, mayroon tayong forever dalawa. Lah, ano ba yan? Kung ano-ano sinasabi niya. Natatawa talaga ako. Sabi ko, for this time, of course, yun yung gagawin ko. Kasi we are all required to. Pero, alam mo naman tayo, I'm very ordinary person. So, kahit saan lang, kahit taga-walis lang tayong sahig, okay na tayo. Basta nasa Providence, no? Yun ba? Kaya sabi niya, i-recommend ko tayo Master Venus. Hala, oy, di ko lang kailangan yung mga ganun kasi mas komportable ako nung. Yeah, pagkasama niya ako, yung katulad ni Ma'am Ann, para makikilala ko din si Ma'am Ann, ganun. Pero pagka going with them, parang wala akong magawa. Yan yung feeling na ganun. Parang magawa, sakay-sakay lang muna ako dito sa sakyanan nila. Yeah. Pero yun nga, ako naman yung pinapagsalita niya pagka kami magkasama. Kaya yun din ako useful siguro dahil madaldal ako. Kaya I'm grateful na naging instrumental doon. But marami kaming registration ko yan, marami kaming names. Kasi siyempre galing doon sa leaders. Tapos connect na talaga yung mga link. Tapos nagpapakita pa, yung successfully registered, pinapakita yan doon sa, sa messenger, sinisend, gano'n. Nakakatuwa. Kaya meron tayong iilan, hindi naman masyadong marami, na hindi na-identify na kung sino-sino dahil nga doon sa registration natin na sila lang mismo nag-register kasi marunong naman sila, mga tech naman sila. So, maliban sa
247,000 na lang kulang natin para ma-reach yung 1 million.
Na actual registrants.
Opo. Yun lang yung mga yung mga recognized na nag-register. Pero marami pa yung mga unrecognized na nag-register na walang region kaya hindi sila na
Kaya tatanong din si Kuya Edmo na, ate, bakit ganito? Marami tayong hindi, from Region 10, pero hindi natin kung sinong kasi hindi kami ang nag-register, sila na mismo ang nag-register. Yung ganito po. Hindi nila ma-trace kung
kasi kung wala silang category, hindi sila ma-count eh. Kasi based dun lang sa category na nakalagay dun sa anyway, that's very good thing na pero ang backlog niyan is how we can follow them up and how we can really let them become owner of the hope that we have given them.
Yes, Kuya. Yan din yung sinasabi ko kay ate. Sana ate, kasi kayo yung mag-meeting, you can really bring out what are the steps, the things that we have to basically do para ma-sustain yung inumpisahan na natin. Sabi ko, kasi hindi na tayo makakabalik actually. After
saka hindi lang dapat yung mag-support lang sila during the event, but how we can really let them become owner na. Yun yung Kaya nga yun yung laging sinasabi ni Reverend Hori ngayon what we needed is really the owner of the hope that we are given. Hindi lang yung mag-participate kami during this time, tapos after this time, pagka merong persecution, kami rin mag-persecute sa inyo.
Gusto ko yung mga personal kong nakausap na mga head. Halimbawa, ng HR sa province, si Vice, yung administrator ng Lagindingan na nagbigay sa amin ng dami-daming pangalan na ba yun. I really look forward that these people can take ownership talaga po. Yung pagkakausap mo, makakaramdam sila from us, yung hope talaga. Kasi alam nila na very sincere tayo dun sa sinasabi natin. I hope hindi mananatiling lang, yun po na talaga. I'm praying. Kasi, mga maliban dun sa kanilang sila nag-usap, wala akong masyadong doon. Pero yung ako mismo nakakausap, parang, oh my God, yung heart mo ba, nagbe-break na, nagde-desire ng, sana, talaga natin, mag-guide talaga natin sila. Mag-guide talaga natin sila towards yung yung mag-participate talaga tulad nito. Kasi very important po talaga. Yun ako po.
Kaya nga yung realization ni national leader nung graduation ng closing ceremony ng fourth batch, sana hindi lang hanggang doon sana. Para makita niya talaga yung value nung ino-offer ng UPTA for a deepening education ng mga members na.
Amazing, no? Talaga. Nakaka-enrapture.
Siguro ang pwede natin gawin is while habang mainit pa yung inspiration nila doon is we are little by little giving them the chance to introduce the principal and true parents itself na ano. Kasi kung titingnan natin, given na yun eh.
So gusto ko
Na
siyang bigyan ng True Mothers memoir.
lahat ng mga VIP natin na talagang nag-aral ng Divine Principle, parang si General Canatoy, diba? Kung hindi lang napabayaan nung naging member na, pero still kahit nung pinupuntahan namin siya doon sa Air Force sa Villamor, talagang ano pa rin siya. Pero yun nga lang, mga frustration lang niya kasi is yun na we always look at them as VIP. Pero sabi niya, kapatid niyo ako eh.
I
Yun
really
yung
like that. Because
yun yung
match ko siya. I really like his kuya, yung grounded siya. He's very grounded talaga po.
yun yung ano. Kaya tapos na kasi yung era ng VIP na even si father nga sabi niya all VIP should pay their own registration eh. Na dapat mas mahal pa yung registration nila dapat kasi they will be using God's plan, God's providence.
Sana pala kuya, ganito yon. We have a plan na itong mga nag-strongly endorse to us. Si Vice Gov, kasi nakausap ko siya mismo. Ang ABC President kasi na provincial at yung board member nga, is yung secretary lang ang nakausap ko. Kaya sinabi ko kay ate na in the external way, kasi kailangan na natin i-adapt na ganun. On Monday, meron silang session. Sabi ko, how about ate, if we will present certificate of recognition to them, appreciation to them during that time. Pero, yun, yung inspiration ko personally is, bigyan ko sila ng True Mother's Memoir as a gift for them to really see, and then doon ko sila ma-follow up na how are they doing with, how do they reflect about what they read, parang gano'n.
And at least meron kang point of reconnection sa kanila through that na receiving the reflection.
Kasi,
You can do it, ate.
Sabi, I only have 2 kasi. Siyempre, pero sila naman yung very strongly nag-support. Meron akong 2 dito. So, I will bring that and then I will
para kan. Yun nga, 'di ba nung seminar ng Philippine Association of Anatomists, yun ang binigay namin ni Doc V. Tinatanong niya ako anong bigay natin na Hindi True Father's Autobiography kasi yun naman ang goal natin. Tapos sabi nung pare,
Father's Autobiography and True Mother's Memoir siguro po yan.
Kung pwede yung dalawa Pero that time kasi nung seminar ng PSA sa Iloilo is True Father's Autobiography pa lang yung
Kaya, yeah, I will do that.
Tapos kung hindi man nila ma-follow up nila Ate Grace, will handle it na. Ganun lang
Ilan yung kailangan mo autobiography ni Mother Ate?
Ayan, mag-donate na si Ate Relina.
Wow, thank you Ate Relina. Mapapaiyak na talaga ako.
Ilan nga Ate?
Actually Ate, yung sa sarili ko lang na nakita ko kasi I want to give 4.
4?
And then syempre yung
Hindi dapat 12 Ate.
12 ako ya.
12. Kung
12
4 yun, di 12.
Kasi po, mag-umpisa, kasi kuya, gusto ko rin mag-umpisa na, yun lang ang hawak ko kasi. Kaya yun yung pinaka-immediate na inspiration ko ngayon. During that time, we will go to the SP Hall, session hall, and then we will really have to present that and then give it to the Vice Governor. Kasi, and then to the President Board Member. Kasi yun yung only way, only way, ito lang talaga yung parang entry ko kasi hindi naman ako ang frontline doon. Ako yung nagsasalita pero hindi naman ako ang i-recognize na nag-invite sa kanila syempre. I know who. So, hindi naman ako na gusto kong magpakilala pero gusto ko lang talaga silang i-connect. Kasi yun lang yung way natin na, ay my God, kahit hindi pa, kahit hindi pa ako ang makilala niyo, importante is makilala niyo si true parents, yung ganung tipo. Yun lang yung desire ng heart ko eh. Wala namang iba eh. Yung mga recognition ng leaders natin, wala yun. Okay na yun. Kita-kits na lang
Go
tayo.
ate, do it, and then pagka ano, kung hindi na sila mapansin ni Ate Grace later on, at least meron pa rin tayo connection sa kanila.
I'm sure I'm
And we
really gonna
can
do that.
we can continuously guide them.
Mm.
And if they will be asking for more, nandito naman ang UPTA eh.
Yeah.
Yun yung ano natin.
Adja. I'm so happy. My God. Thank you po.
Ano kung magpapadala yung yung 4 ate?
LBC lang ate. Try mong i-ask sila ni Ate Silin kasi sila Ate Silin, sila na nagpapadala ng meron kasi kaming na-receive dito na ilan ba yon? 7. Ilan ba yung napadala ni Ate? 7? Meron siyang 7. Mag-ask ka po sa kanya ate. Siya nagpadala sa amin, nag-order kasi kami dito nung True Mother's Memoir. Dayon, ayun, meron lang kaming extra na True Father's Autobiography. So, hindi ko alam kung paano ba nila pinandala yun, pero
merong mas mura na pagpadala ng JNT Courier.
Hindi ko alam yun, kuya. Basta, meron, hindi ko
Basta
alam.
alam nila basta alam nila yun, ipapadala natin. Tapos,
Yeah. Thank you, ate. Oh my
pero
God.
mag-start ko na tayo dun sa
Yes.
sa ano ba yan? Sa 4.
Okay, sige po.
For
Okay lang
position
ba
mo
yun,
na.
Sir Randy?
Sige tayo, go. Kasi manageable pa naman natin, kaya pa natin i-guide yung 4. Tapos pag mag-guide na natin yung 4, sila na mag-guide dun sa next na tiga-4 sila.
Wow.
Ayan. Anyway, ang ini-introduce ko kina Jenny na courier kasi pwedeng online yon, yung JNT. Mas cheaper siya. Tapos with the CIG, we will be getting a VIP sending system or kukuha tayo ng parang VIP connection sa kanila para special yung treatment nila sa may papadala natin. So, actually ang LBC wala kasi silang VIP ang LBC pero JT meron sila na malapit lang dito sa HQ yung office nila sa nasa Kamuning area lang.
Great. Gusto ko yan. I'm so happy. Yeah.
Sige. Just yan mo kay Jenny tapos will be the one I will talk to Jenny kung paano nila ipadala sa Cagayan.
Yeah. Ay, sige, sir.
Thank you, Ate Relina. God bless you more.
Okay, so next bukas will be my lecture. Yung lecture ko muna bukas, no, Herwin? Yung continuation ng lecture ko bukas.
Ayun.
Nakapag-lecture ka last time, sir?
Oo.
Usually, mauuna dapat yung lecture niya, sir.
Yung never give up until the end. Yun yung topic next. Actually, 3 pa yun eh. Longing for true parents and attending true parents. Tapos, Cain's responsibility. And then, educator and participants educators connection. Yun yung So, bukas, total maaga naman tayong babalik. Tapos, I will be reviewing lang sa HQ. Para bukas ng gabi dito sa bahay. Kasi may session pa rin kami ni Kuya Alfon bukas. Pagkagaling natin ng Bulacan. Sabi nga ni Kuya Alfon, sabi niya, after ng session namin kanina, biglang nag-message na yung 3 days na tinis niya, parang ang improvement niya is parang nabawasan ng 1 araw kaagad yung
Wow.
Kasi sabi niya, pwede bang ituloy natin kapatid, sabi niya.
Wow, si Kuya Alfon.
Sakit ni Kuya Alfon, Randy?
Yung back pain ko
Lower oras tayo makabalik, sir?
Mga before lunch, nakaano na tayo. Balik na tayo. Kasi diretso naman tayo dun sa, sa store.
Yan na ba yun yung soft opening, kuya? Or
Hindi pa po.
Ah,
Ano pa lang. Pwede kaya natin madala na tong freezer, Herwin? Ano bang gagamitin natin sa sakyan?
Tinatanong ko pa, sir.
Kasi kung yung L3, at least maano na sana tong freezer. Para kung ano, pagdating nung nung withdraw ko sa savings namin sa office, mag-order na ako ng tuna longganisa at saka tuna chorizo sa Jensen.
wow.
Meron kang source
Tapos tuna.
na mura?
Ate?
Meron kang source na mura?
Meron te.
Sino?
Wow.
Sa Jensen, yung KM Foods mismo sa Jensen.
Wow.
Nakausap ko mismo doon yung may-ari, si Sir Baldon. Sila mag-asawa kaklose ko kasi sila mag-asawa.
Okay.
Pag pumupunta ako doon, lagi nila akong pinapakain ng yung buko, halo-haloin buko. Bawal yun kay Herwin, halo-haloin buko.
Bakit?
May ubo pa siya eh.
Yun ang gamot, kuya, noon. Alam mo? Ako naman ngayon si alam mo na, si Uncle. Yun
Pero, Herwin, bukas magluto tayo ng yung gin ramyun na super hot para lumabas na yung
sipon at tubo, no?
Tapos pakisabi kay... Wala.
Gusto ko yun, kuya. Tapos lagyan mo pa kahit mayroon pang kimchi. Ang sarap ng kimchi kasali doon eh. Tapos
kasama ko si Sandra kanina rito. Pinakain ko siya ng kimchi.
Tapos lagyan mo na tayo yung squid ring.
Oh my God.
Squid ring na fresh na
Yes, kuya, no? Ano ba yan? Parang ano ba yung pinag-uusapan natin?
Nagugutom na tayo.
Kasi hindi pa ako nag-dinner.
Alam ko na kaya.
Binigyan naman ako sa HU kanina ng dinner. Nagulat ako biglang doon sa table. May binigyan na pala ako ng table doon. Sabi ko ayoko mag-table kasi on call lang ako. Sabi ni Ate Dulce, diyan ka.
Sorry ka na lang, kuya.
Tapos kanina may dinala si Molina na pagkain doon sa sa table ko.
Ang natin, ang cost
Okay.
is 220.
Sige. So we will let's prepare, let's pray for the Rally of Hope tomorrow. And
SRP.
actually natutuwa nga ako sa Rally of Hope kasi na-formulate yung Palace of Hope is nung nag-start kayo, Herwin, sa IPLC. Kasama ko si Vice Mayor ng Candelaria.
Sir.
Pwede na ang 270.
Nung time na nag-start kayo sa IPLC. Yung maraming taga Candelaria din na estudyante, 'di ba, kabatch mo nun? Sina yung galing kay Vice Mayor. Doon namin nabuo yung Palace of Hope Foundation eh. Kaya hanggang ngayon meron na sana mag-sponsor ng 1 million na trust fund, pero sabi ko ayoko yung terms kasi parang gagamitin lang for their own interest.
Yes.
Kaya yung nabuo yun because of True Father's inspiration din eh. Kasama nung Coral Anchor nung binubuo na ginagawa ko yung Coral Anchor.
I'm so inspired ng Coral Anchor na yan, kuya. Gusto ko yan kahit hindi ako marunong lumangoy. Gusto ko yan ma-establish dito.
Pwede ring lagyan ng abalone yun te. Kasi yung anchor for corals saka sa para sa mga shells. Kasi dumidikit sila doon eh.
Oh my
Sa anchor
God.
na 'yon.
Ano ba ang yung abalone, palagi ko naririnig sa gusto ng mga Korean na nandoon sa may Jeju Island, di ba? Hindi ko ano bang ano bang katumbas niya dito sa Pilipinas? Yung
Meron din tayong abalone dito, te.
Ah,
Yung nung nag-start yung abalone din sa Pilipinas, isa yung sister-in-law ko na taga BIFAR ang nag-ano nun. Sila yung una nag-research sa fishery sa Iloilo. Pero siya kasi from abalone, nag-shift siya ng shrimp saka sa eel ngayon yung ano. Kasi tie-up nila yung Japanese government sa sa eel control. Eel control te. Kasi nagkaroon tayo ng problem sa eel, di ba?
oo,
Yung
parang naging pawala na siya.
Maano pa rin te.
Marami pa rin
Mabilis kasi silang dumami eh. And yun yung isa sa mga concentration ng Region 2 ngayon. Kaya siya yung from prawn, pinagsabay niya yung prawn sa kail,
Yeah, but tatanungin ko pa muna kaya kuya.
So, yun yung kaya hindi natanggap sa Region 2 yung coral anchor kasi siya yung head ng research. Yung hipag ko.
Wow.
Sabi niya, kung i-approve kita, parang kasi ang pinopropose kasi ng Region 2 that time para sa coral rehabilitation is yung reef ball na bibili nila sa Amerika na cost $350 per reef ball. Aside from yung Fiber Plus kasi yung ginamit nila doon. Fiber Plus tapos may mga special pa na Kasi sabi ko meron naman tayong local. Bakit kailangan pa mag-import? Meron naman tayong sariling pwedeng gawin dito. Na propose ng director nila noon eh. Kaya sabi ko, sige, wag na lang ako mag-ano. Kaya sa BIFA Region 8 ako na dun, kasi during that time, 2007 to 2008, BIFA Region 8 yung inatasan na maghanap ng Philippine way ng rehabilitation ng coral reef system natin. Pero ang inaano nila doon, ang pinopromote nila doon is yung iron rod saka yung yung PVC pipe na yung iron rod kasi is pagka na yun, corrosive, nagiging pollutant sa sa dagat. Yung naman, kung gamitin naman yung PVC is kumakapit ang lumot pero in the long run hindi rin maganda ang niya dahil sa plastic. Kaya nung present ko yung coral anchor na ginawa ko based dun sa inspiration from True Father na yung triangular trinity system. Whole day na kinutuhan ako ng BIFAR director sa Region 8 nun eh.
Kinutuhan, grabe naman yun.
Tapos at the end, sila yung nag-conclude na this is not only for a coral rehabilitation project, but this is also for even different species of mga seashells can thrive. And it is the most non-pollutant.
Kuya, sandali lang, meron kaming si Bea to cut you for a while. Nagtatanong regarding our t-shirts.
Okay.
Ano daw yung sizes nun?
Small, medium, large, extra large.
Extra large.
Pwede nyo i-ano kay Salinte kung ilang small, ilang medium, ilang large, saka ilang extra large.
We can choose how many small, large, and medium. Ano siguro? 100 lang man yun, kuya, no? Ewan ko, doon ba? You decide ba yan? Mas marami ang large or extra large.
Anyway, Ate Sylvia,
Yes,
kung
kuya.
kasi di ba yung sinasabi ko nga sa'yo na we needed to also fund for the farm dyan. I will
Yes,
get the
kuya.
half of it.
Oh my God.
Kalahati, ako na yung ako na yung, kumbaga ako na mag-sponsor doon sa kalahati.
Thank you
So,
po.
ang i-ano nyo dyan, erase nyo dyan is yung kalahati para para 50-50 tayo.
Sige po.
Tapos yun yung gamitin na pang finance natin dyan sa mga farm, yung tatlong farm na prospect natin dyan. Para dun sa tatlong kitchen na very important, very significant sa kitchen na project natin. And at the same time, pag pupunta ako dyan, at least hindi na natin problemahin yung pamasahe ko.
Get mo.
Kung meron
Alam ko yung joker pala. Meron akong na meet doon, yung recently, na sila, nag-promote sila ng alkaline ginger. Tapos, from Davao. Tapos, pero yun, yung out from the ginger, meron silang mga inoculants na i-mix doon sa lupa na gagawin din lang doon locally para yung lalagyan ng ay tataniman ng ginger. Then they are going to provide plastics and then yung soil. But the farmer is going to pay like 1,900 for 10 sacks or 10 plastic together na yung tawag nun, yung seedling, hindi naman seedling tawag nun, at saka yung lupa, at saka yung, yun. Tapos, ang nakakaano dito, joker, pero business nila eh. They're like giving, parang sabi na livelihood support to the farmer na 1,300 something every month from the time na magpa-member ka. Yung membership fee nila is 5,500. So, sabi ng friend ko, kasi di ba may pinag-usapan tayo regarding yung apat na spices na essential spices. Tapos sabi niya, sis, ano sa palagay mo? Sabi ko, gusto ko malaman yung niya, pero hindi naman, pero medicinal yung nila. Doon ko nalaman na yung 6 months na ginger is for like, ginagamit ng mga Japanese, parang pickles. Then yung, i-raise ng mga farmers na gusto lang i-partner is 9 months. Pero yung sabi na, yung culinary is 1 year, kaya yun. So, yun yung niya. Pero sila, yung kanilang gusto is 9 months lang. Pero meron silang nilalagay ng alkaline something, inoculants nga doon sa para alkaline. And then yung pag-process ng growing is nakaangat ng at least 1 meter. 1 meter, 1 foot above the ground.
Above the soil.
Above the soil.
Bale, hanging siya, te?
Hanging siya. And then, ang pa doon, kuya, ang guarantee nila per, anong tawag na, parang per seedling, aabot siya ng 1 kilo. So, yung sa 10 kilo, yung 10 bags, definitely will yield 10 kilos. But the thing is, ang kanila namang fix yung kanilang pricing of, sila din ang kukuha ng ginger 100 lang. So, guaranteed ka to have 10,000. Pero parang ginawa lang networking or something, basta meron silang marketing strategy na mag-register muna yung mga farmer ng 5,500. But you will not, it is the only way for them to be guaranteed na avail sila nung at least 10 sacks of
Ginger.
yung ginger, yung ganon. Pero meron din silang, kasi binibinta nila, meron silang, kuya, meron silang rub from ginger, meron din silang parang concentrate, spray for na what's this? Na ginger parang concoction. Tatlo yun eh. Hindi ko masyadong tiningnan. Basta, meron silang ganun na binibigay. Na sabi nila, very effective. Na, syempre, hindi ayoko namang ayoko naman comment, no? Kasi, syempre, mayroon tayong intention, baka maging partner din natin sila in the future. And retired nurse yun, na nag-shift into wellness, ganun, and agri-wellness. Tapos yun, gusto nung friend ko na magsali kami doon. Sabi ko, parang sobrang expensive naman. And we really wanted to we wanted to help the farmers. Pero parang niluluto natin ang farmers ng sarili nilang mantika, parang gano'n. So, hindi ko masyadong gusto yung idea. But of course, na-inspire ako na, yeah. But anyway, our purpose, ang sa atin naman is 1 year nga. So, ang strategy ko naman kung tayo is, ayoko nang i-plant mo siya ng immediately in one setting. Gusto ko naman ng staggered para parang monthly naman yung ating
May
income.
harvest na, no?
Harvest. Hindi ayoko no ng isang business lang and that's it, sabi. Ayoko naman ng ganun. Dahil kung pag-uusapan natin yung poverty alleviation at saka yung help talaga, then we have to make it like sustainable naman. Nga naman. Hindi yung one time lang at saka yun na. Ayoko
Parang one part mag-harvest ng January, next part will be February.
Yes, yun yung gusto kong program ko yan na i-apply ko doon. But we will be mixing, kasi meron namang maraming resources doon na i-apply talaga yung organic substrate ika nga kasi na merong para
anong gagamitin niyo na konti? Soil with manure? Soil
actually,
with
meron
manure
kasi
na,
marami dong kuya. Gusto nating i-carbonize dahil nga kasi may carbonator naman. Alam ko matrabaho siya, but I really suggest na yun yung gagawin namin sa farm. And hindi siya feasible sa lahat ng farms kasi yung kay ma'am, wala siyang sa organic eh. So that's gonna be tedious. Pero siguro naman willing naman siya to invest. And then yung isa naman ay talagang walang-wala as in zero. So yun lang doon kay Buling. Meron na siyang mga gamit at saka syempre na siya, ATI accredited na siya. Maliit lang yung area niya, pero I wish na I could have applied it that way. Kaya nga, nagtatanong-tanong pa ako with regards to paminta. Hindi pa ako nakahanap ng source ng kanilang possible natin. Siguro bukid nun pa baka. So, but yun yung gusto kong i-implement doon na i-set namin na model doon. Kasi mayroon siyang mga families doon. Hindi siya, siyempre, this time, kasi nung umpisa, si Sis Buling, parang parang provide pa niya for the first 6 months ata, provide pa niya ng pagkain, meron pa silang allowance, yung gano'n. Pero those people were not able to sustain it kasi dahil hindi din masyadong na-appreciate yung kanyang dahil si Sis Buling hindi naman focus doon, hindi naman siya nag-try siyang mag-farm pero hindi talaga yung kanyang linya. Kaya siguro niya gustong-gusto ako nandoon. Hindi ako pwedeng doon dahil meron naman tayong opta. Alam niya na may klase ako every night. Sa Mondays through Saturdays, sabi ko gano'n. Pero syempre, makikisama ako sa kanya na i-place niya yon. Hindi rin pwede na parang minsan na-jeopardize yung ating schedule. Ayoko nung ganun. Kaya I don't want, sabi niya, dito ka mag-stay sa bahay, sis, wala kang problema. Ayoko doon dahil may conditions ako, hindi niya maintindihan yon. Diyos ko, Lord.
Maraming restrictions na.
Oo, maraming doon sa kanya. Gusto niya matulog ako doon sa kasama niya sa room niya. Diyos ko, Lord, ano ba ito? Parang hindi ako masyadong comfortable. Pero syempre, hindi naman, lalabas naman tayo doon sa ating comfort zone talaga. Maghanap tayo ng ways. Hindi, siyempre, pagka morning, may morning devotion tayo, nagtataka siya, grabe, ang aga naman itong babaeng ito. Ganun, parati niyan sinasabi, aga-aga mo talaga magising. Sabi niya gano'n. Ba't hindi ka natutulog? Natulog tayo ng alas 2, tapos magigising ka ng alas 5. Ano ba yan?
Umaga na tulog, maaga pa gumising.
Oo, sabi niya gano'n. Siyempre, sis, ito yung morning, routine. Sabi ko gano'n. Sabi niya, naku naman, Diyos ko naman, ano ko ba? Sabi niya gano'n. Tapos may kondisyon ako, kuya, skip meal. Ayaw na ayaw niya kung hindi ka kumakain. Sabi ko, patay talaga dito sa kanyang bahay.
Mahirap samahan yung mga VIP pa ganyan. Kasi
Oo,
yun yung ano nila eh.
oo, sabi niya, ano ka ba, hindi ka naman kumakain? Ano ba, nat-notice ko sa'yo, hindi ka na kayo kumakain ng rice talaga? Sabi ko, hindi kumakain ng rice, kumakain naman ako, siyempre. Pero sinasabihin ko, sis, talaga, kondisyon to. Anong kondisyon? Sabi niya gano'n. Di ba tayo, mga Katoliko, nagnunubina tayo, parang gano'n lang siya. Sabi ko gano'n. Ha? Ba't iba naman yung mga mga paniniwala niyo? Sabi niya gano'n, kasi alam niya, Katoliko ako eh. Yan, ko, siyempre, alam mo naman tayo, universal tayo, lahat na siya. Ay, naku, ako naniniwala, ako na, maliliyo ng gano'n. Sabi niya gano'n. Ko, sige lang, mayain mo, hindi ako naliliyo. Sabi ko, chokil talaga, dami. Ayoko doon sa kanyang bahay. Sabi ko, doon ko magstay sa farm niya. Huwag doon, kasi walang tubig doon, mag-igib ka pa. Sabi ko, okay lang yun. Okay ako doon kasi exercise. Sabi, hindi nga eh. So, kami doon, medyo, meron kaming, kumbaga may conflict kami doon. Sabi ko, hirap pa naman itong tao. Kailangan ko muna siyang matuhog bako talaga ako pumunta sa kanya dahil hindi na ako masupport sustainably. Talaga, pagka ganun. And very very tactless kumbaga. Kasi siyempre in command siya eh. Pero still, Diyos ko Lord. Natatawa lang ako. Anyway, dami ko na ng kwento naman. Diyos ko Lord, kung ano-ano lang. Mula sa t-shirt, humantong na tayo doon at saka ginger na ano ba yan. But anyway, yan. Yung t-shirt natin, kuya. Tuloy na yan.
Basta yung yung sizes na small, medium, large, extra large.
Kuya, itong pala natin, itong contact ni Bea, syempre, reseller yan eh. Sabi niya, meron akong, I have passed through this design. She can see the quality later. She can compare with what she had been selling before. Yun na yung guarantee ko sa'yo. We have the best quality of t-shirts. Kasi very mga online seller yan eh. Gusto mag-reseller. Magtatanong na kagad, kailan ba darating? Oh, sabi siya hindi makapag-antay.
Actually, inaano nga namin na kung natapos na sana yung jacket, isabay na yung jacket eh.
Yung mga hoodies, kuya?
Hindi, yung jacket, UPTA eh. UPTA jacket. Ako, pag makita ni Ate Grace, may iba ka ng grupo.
Oo, kuya. Jealous yung mga yon. Very jealous. Parang gusto nilang i-possess ka ng kung dito ka lang. Sabi niya, ay, may yun nga. May forever tayo despite all the things. Sabi ko, ikaw lang yung nag-iisip. Ako, wala yun. Tapos na yun. Sabi ko, kahit na anong pang gawin nila sa akin, pag tinawag ako, andyan pa rin ako. Sila na yung nag-iisip. Meron silang mga hino-hold na mga sige lang, mag-outgrow na din nila yun later. Ma-outgrow nila yun. Anyway. Siguro, sure ako, kuya, po na ano ba yan, si Lubia? Hindi maintindihan bakit ako nag-o-online araw-araw. Kaya ako nang ginawa niya akong sama tayo. Hindi ako pwede pagka hindi tayo makakauwi ng alas 7. Kaya nagmamadali sila. Joker sila. Natatawa na din lang ako.
Gusto ko palang gawin is convince si Sir Sanchez mag-UPTA. Kasi magaling yun.
Oo nga, ate. The thing is, nagsabi na ako kay Tatay Abuso, ayaw.
Kasi mga yun.
Kasi for them, it's a waste of time. Because they believe they are already good lecturers. Kasi nag-i-HTM na sila talaga. Nagle-lecture sila ng mga nila. Dahan-dahan. Si Tatay Rene at saka si Nanay Sining. Kasi ako wala akong immediate contact kay Sir Sanchez. Silang dalawa lang mag-asawa. Papa at mama ni Ma'am Ara ba? Sir Randy. Kuya Randy. Sinabihan ko yun. si Nanay Sining, sabi niya, I have only the 25% vision, so I cannot sustain in the online. Sabi
Si
niya.
Sir, masyadong practical si Sir Rent, Abuso. Practical siya. Si Sir Sanchez naman, practical din siya, pero mas may heart kasi yung kay Sir Sanchez.
Totoo yan.
May car na bukas, Sir Win? Hindi raw magpumayag kung hindi ka mag-drive eh.
Meron, sir.
Anong gamit din?
L3.
L3?
Wow.
So daanan natin yung kwan? Yung freezer dito sa bahay? 8 o'clock?
Okay, sir.
Para weekend
Sa totoo lang, Kuya Randy, hindi ko ma-imagine paano minamanage yung time mo. Kasi alam ko nag-work ka.
Sigad na nang bumanage to eh. Sumasabay na lang ako.
Yun nga, no? Wow.
Sumasabay na lang ako sa kuha ng...
Sana all. Ganun na.
Okay, so anyway, bukas will be the Rally of Hope and let's pray for it and let's give our time para sa ganun we can give hope to the Philippines and we can offer the Philippines to most especially to True Mother na kasi kung tutuusin tayo kasi yung pinaka strong supporter ni Mother in terms of to support for the reunification of North and South Korea. Kasi yun naman ang pinaka-purpose din nun. Bakit? Para makita na si Mother really meron siyang connection for different leaders para sa ganun Korea will listen to her na it is really important that North and South Korea should be united. Okay, so this is just a condition. What we are just doing is just a condition pero the most important is how we can really educate them to really understand true parents' vision na hindi lang dapat support yung rally but they should own the providence or they should own the vision of God and true parents itself. Okay? So, sige, bukas, yung schedule natin bukas, Erwin, I will start with a presentation. Tapos, lahat ng mga mag-join bukas na they will be presenting their lecture. So, Ate Sylvia and Bea will be third presentation na nila yun, no? Or second presentation. Third na. Third presentation na bukas. So, sige, yun lang. And then, please prepare yourself kasi really, we needed to go global. We should not be only thinking of our nation, but we should expand. Lalong-lalo na ngayon that meron ng initial na request for us to support even the Asia Pacific ngayon. Okay. So let's just prepare kasi pagka magkaroon na ng morning shift sa night seminar, we will be arranging, we'll be discussing with Herwin how we can arrange our team na ma-set up natin yung gano'n. Anyway, during the time, medyo mag-subside ng Rally of Hope so we can focus more now. Kasi ang next na is, ang inaano ni Reverend Hori is increase quality members. So while we are doing the external activity, we should also think of how we can increase quality members. And most especially, pag sinabing quality members, isa sa mga tinitingnan doon is yung quality match couple and quality blessed couples. Yun yun. Kasi doon naman talaga nagkakaroon ng true membership ang movement, di ba? Pagka na-blessed na-match, na-blessed na at saka nag-start na ng family. Kung yung single pa, hindi pa yun talagang quality member kasi pwedeng na-inspire lang. Pero after that, ayaw naman ng blessing, ayaw ng matching. So wala pa rin. Okay? Kaya ito yung ano natin, ito yung dito tayo, ang mission natin dito nakatuon sa part na to. Yung creating quality and best offering to God and true parents. Okay? Not only in the Philippines but Asia Pacific. So, yun yung greatest announcement natin ngayon. Yun yung shocking announcement na UPTA goes global. Kaya sabi nga kanina sa office global na pala talaga tayo. Hindi na lang tayo pang Philippines. Okay? Kaya pala Universal Principal Training Academy. Kasi we will conquer the whole universe. Okay? So, sige Erwin, we can now close para we can have a rest. Maglaba pa pala ako mamaya. Schedule ko maglaba bukas.
So let's join me in prayer. Our Heavenly Parents and true parents, good evening, Father. We are so blessed. And now, Father, we are done with our session for tonight, the UPTA, and all the plans. And yeah, I hope Father in heaven execute more our effort and help more our brothers and sisters. Your desire, Father in heaven, I we do hope that we could truly somehow help you, Father in heaven, and help the providence. Thank you so much for your love, Father. Protect each and every one of us, the health and I hope that we could do more and more, Father. Thank you, Father, for everything and for this friends and Jesus. Okay. Jew.
Ju.
Jew.
Okay. Good night.
Good night po
And
lahat.
happy Rally of Hope bukas.
Yeah.
All join together with True Mother. Ay, Manina, i-prepare mo yung ano natin bukas yung treatment room natin.